Yo, what's going on, guys? This is the Jack of All Trades podcast. I'm your host, Jack Freeman. We here in our wonderful location, undisclosed, overlooking the city. I get a view of Energy Stadium where the Magic happened last night. We had my girl Cardi B go out there and put 75,000 people in that stadium for the rodeo. She did her thing, so we talked about that. We had no guest today. Another no guest, no problem episode. Me and my guy Ryan Rocket, just shooting the breeze, talking about everything that's going on these days. And I think I like that this format where I bring people and we go a few weeks and I interview them and talk to them, and then we just kick back and talk about whatever's going on with us and have a good time. So we talk about the Cardi B rodeo performance. Mariah Carey came down to town, so we talk a little bit about that. We talk a little bit about trying to get our what it's like as an artist, putting out new music and always having the request for the old hits and things of that nature. We talk about a lot of stuff, man. We talk about a whole myriad of things. We talk about Mr. Smollett and his escapades. We talk about R. Kelly and all of his nastiness. We talk about the upcoming UFC fight tonight, which I'm going to watch tonight. We talk a little bit about colorism, and we stay woke out here in these streets because that's what we do. But most importantly, we talk about my dates coming up. March 14th, we're at the Parker Jazz Club, 8:30 in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. March 16th, we are at the Goring Brothers Hat Shop, 9 p.m. We are definitely going to be in the building for South by Southwest. We're gonna make it rain in there. Make it rain music and love and stuff. May 18th, I'm going to be at the NOLA Soul and Arts Festival in New Orleans, Louisiana at the Louis Armstrong Park. Got some more stuff, man. Because I sang songs in my time. Sing the songs that I like to sing. Because it's funny to me. And, so if you're listening and you are attempting to book myself for any event whatsoever, my email is jackfreemanmusic@gmail.com. Please do not flood my email with a bunch of bullshit because I will never respond to it. Yeah, man. Then we also talk about my trip to Chicago and my trip to New York to go do my shows out there, having fun and singing songs and eating food and whatnot. And then we talk about Ja Rule because he's trash. Yeah, and in front of our faces, U of H lost their second game of the year. So, we talk about all of that and a whole lot more on this long-ass podcast. It's time. Let's get it in, baby.
If you wanna ride, you better make up your mind and choose up. If you wanna roll in the passenger seat of my car, you better make up your mind and choose up.
What's going on, guys? It's Jack Freeman. You're listening to the Jack of All Trades podcast. We here, man, in our glorious undisclosed location overlooking the city, baby. Yeah, man, we today is a wonderful day out in Houston. It's a nice day. But This is another podcast, another episode. Told you I'd do it again. Where we don't have a guest. So it's just me and my guy, my producer, Mr. Ryan Rocket. We here today. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm just recovering, getting back from my travels. So which we'll get to in a little bit, man. A lot's been going on though in the last couple of weeks, man. This past weekend, how's your weekend?
It was cool, man.
Well, it's Saturday, so your weekend's still going. But how was your Friday?
My Friday was cool, man. Didn't get Cardi B rodeo tickets. I was politicking for him. I was trying. Yeah, but actually, man, I'm glad I didn't go now because that hoe was packed.
It's packed. So
75,000 people.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, for those of our out-of-town listeners, the 5 of y'all that listen, Houston has an annual season that starts in late February and goes throughout March. What is it, into April, something like that, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Where every night we have the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And it is exactly what you think it is. It is a livestock show where you go and get to
shit.
Yeah, some country ass shit. We have there's a live petting zoo, you get to pet cows and there's chickens there too and horses and all that stuff. So one little area is filled with all types of wild animal shit.
Yeah.
And then there's in the football stadium, we have the rodeo, which is all sorts of horses racing around barrels and
bull
riding, which is my favorite part of the shit because never fails that somebody gets rocked on the they got it's been a while, man. Calf wrestling, they do a lot of that stuff. If you are an animal rights enthusiast, you probably are one that goes out and probably protest this whole thing.
And they did protest Cardi B too.
Of course they did. Yeah. Also in the parking lot there is a full carnival.
Yes.
The first couple of days of the rodeo is a cook-off.
Yes.
They do just a bunch of people come out there barbecuing and all that kind of stuff. You got to pay for your space and all that stuff. And it's a cool situation. It's very unique to the city. It's about as unique to the city as a Mardi Gras would be for New Orleans.
Yeah.
I know that other places have rodeos and I know other cities have Mardi Gras, but New Orleans is kind of the place where everybody wants to go Mardi Gras. What do they do? The Taste of Chicago and Chicago, just different things like that. This one of those things where the rodeo in Houston is a huge deal. And at the end of every rodeo, there is a concert. Yeah. Normally we get one black artist a year, and it's normally Black Heritage Night. Was last night Black Heritage Night?
Yes.
So last year we had Leon Bridges.
People were really upset about that.
Yeah, it was and I like Leon. I don't think that it was maybe time on his platform for him to do that, and I think it was kind of a bad position to put him in because he's a great artist, I think he's really talented, but I don't know, it's a football stadium.
Yeah.
And
that's Beyonce night. That's Mary J. Blige night.
Yeah, you got Mary. For context, my first concert was Earth, Wind and Fire at the rodeo.
Oh wow!
In 1996. So this is Earth, Wind and Fire. So when we talking about Black Heritage Night, we talking about like you said, Mary J. Blige, Beyonce. I've seen Destiny's Child there. Actually, when Destiny's Child played there, that was the first time they'd ever performed Survivor. Who else did I see? Smokey Robinson, in 97. So I saw Earth, Wind and Fire 96, 97 was Smokey Robinson. I've seen LL Cool J at the rodeo. I think John Legend's done the rodeo. John Legend's definitely done the rodeo.
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys. I think I was at Alicia Keys. I was definitely at Alicia Keys.
Okay.
That was when she first dropped, first album.
She had been out for a few years at that time.
Probably first or second album. Second album, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think I was there for that. Yeah, man. It's just a. So they had this Black Heritage Night, and the Black Old Texan Committee kind of is a big thing in Houston. My dad was a part of the committee for a little while, and that's how we ended up getting a lot of those tickets to go to those. And last night, Friday night, was we had Cardi B.
Yes.
And Cardi B set the record for attendance at the rodeo.
Let me look the exact number up. I have it saved.
It was over 75,000.
Yes.
That is, she broke the record previously held by Selena.
Well, to be exact, I believe Garth Brooks
broke
had
the
it
record
last. He broke that record, and then Cardi B broke his record by like 3 people.
Because Garth was here at the beginning of the rodeo last year and at the end of the rodeo last year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so Garth Brooks broke Selena's record.
In
the big thing about Selena was, if I understand correctly, Selena performed, played the rodeo, and then a month later she passed.
Yeah. It was real soon.
Yeah, it was very soon after that. I'm being from Houston, I know Selena and I know the impact that she had. I wasn't very well versed in her music that much, but if you from Houston, you know Selena. If you from Texas, you know Selena. So if you're from anywhere, you know Selena at this point. But the late great Selena performed at the rodeo, and a month later she was murdered,
killed.
Garth Brooks came last year, I believe. He broke it last year.
Yeah,
he broke her attendance record last year. Selena had the Astrodome. Mm-hmm. That was when the Astrodome was still here. Energy Stadium wasn't even around yet. Wasn't even thought of yet. It was like 95, right? And I believe 96 is when the Oilers left, and we still had the rodeo at the Astrodome until Energy Stadium was built and fully functioning. Garth Brooks broke it last year, and Barty, Cardi B, shows up and puts over 75,000 people in that stadium.
To be exact, 75,580. And to be even more exact, the NRG Stadium holds 72,200 people. So they were packed.
They were at capacity.
3,000 plus over capacity.
Over capacity. Fire hazard, folks.
Yes.
Like, the only other people who have even put that many people in the stadium, in our stadium at least, rodeo or not, was like Beyonce.
Yeah.
And who else? There was one other one. Garth Brooks and Beyonce.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and Beyonce wasn't even Beyonce at that point,
right?
But she was still, breaking records and all
that.
Yeah,
she was still breaking records, and to my knowledge, did they have 70? It was maybe 60 or something like that in there on the Run 2. I went to On the Run 2.
Yeah.
They sold the stadium out twice. So, yeah, man. Like I say, I like to say, Cardi is like. You thought Cardi was having a great year last year. Cardi had a great beginning of 2009. 19, I'm sorry. She wins a Grammy 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
For best rap album, not even like best song, like best rap song. Like she won best rap album. She won, and then she comes out to Houston and puts on this show that's just like, from the videos that I saw, it seemed like a really great show.
Yeah.
I think that, and I know this because I was at the Davenport last night and I caught all of that crowd. So like it's a dope feat to see her do, man. Like I was one of those people that early on, like, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop, so wasn't really sure who she was. I just knew that she was a stripper that had a lot to say.
Yeah. And she talked about that too on her Instagram story. Like, the first time she came out to Houston was to strip.
Yeah.
And now she's selling out NRG Stadium.
NRG Stadium for the rodeo. And I think that speaks to the power of what you can do for people that you really actually support. So, because last year, like I said, Leon came and did the exact same night, Leon Bridges came in, and I believe his attendance was maybe like 7,500.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, there's two sides of the coin here. So like people were like, well, Leon should have more people there because he, a couple of people I saw, he's like, he sold out Stubbs Barbecue twice in a row. Well, Stubbs Barbecue, for those that don't know, is an Austin barbecue spot, but it is also a very large venue in the back that holds maybe like 2,000 people, right? So if you sell it out 2 nights in a row, if it holds 2,000 people or so, you got 4,000 people in the building, and that's cool, right? But we're talking about a 72,000 seat stadium, and I'm not even sure that Leon's catalog is even conducive to a football stadium.
Yeah,
I think my music, to a certain extent, I don't even know if that's conducive to a football stadium. So like, it's no diss to Leon. I think Leon's dope, but at a time for the last couple of years, I think the year before they had Jason Derulo.
Yeah, and that was rough too.
And everyone, like, look, I don't know anybody black who likes Jason Derulo. Yeah. So at a time, like, there was this thing where I was thinking, like, I'm thinking that maybe they're making this bad on purpose so that they can get rid of Black Heritage Night because they think that nobody's showing up to it. Mm-hmm. And then they get Cardi, and part of me thinks that maybe they're trying to say that they ain't gonna show up to this either. But 75,000 people showed up to that place.
I think that they had to know that Cardi was going to get it packed.
I hope so. I think that what happened was the people that are with the Black Gold Texan Committee and the all the black people that are involved in the rodeo probably said, look, we can't have this.
Yeah.
We want to have fun too. Y'all get Garth Brooks 3 nights a year. Or when Pat Green was popping, y'all had Pat Green. And when, Hispanic Heritage Night, they get their people and they get, whoever they enjoy the most. We get country music every day for 2 months. Mm-hmm. Can we, for once, go back to what we were doing before? And really, because I remember when we were at the rodeo with during those times with Earth, Wind, and Fire and Smokey Robinson, and we 60,000, 70,000 people in there.
Yeah.
In the Astrodome. Astrodome held like 66,000 people or something like that. 65,000. They were getting 68,000. And for the drop off to happen that way, like for Cardi to come in and do the numbers that she did, because I think it sold out in a day.
Yeah, quick.
That's amazing, man. And I definitely wanted no part of being around that area.
Yeah, same here.
Because the one thing that happens is, rodeo season in Houston is like having Super Bowl weekend, but like for 2 months.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it is constant traffic at night, on the way to and on the way from. Every night, the Lyft and Uber surges are super high. It's just a time, man. It's a time for everybody to enjoy, man. I'm just glad that Cardi was able to go out there and put on the show, and everybody had a safe night, because I don't think there was anything.
I didn't see anything.
I don't think anything rough happened or anything like that. But I'm glad everybody had a good time. I'm glad everybody kind of was able to do. People on their way to the rodeo right now. I saw 2 wrecks on the way to the rodeo.
Yeah.
Like, there's like people are out in their cowboy boots, mad on the freeway. And I know they on the way to the rodeo because, the carnival is like all day.
Yeah.
Maybe they pre-gaming beforehand and going, I don't know who's playing tonight, but, which actually brought me to an idea, like a thought of mine, like, I wonder what's the one thing you'd be most afraid of to be wearing and get into a major car accident.
Oh man.
like just imagine like some lady, she's going on her way to her man's house and she got a trench coat on and nothing on under it. And then she gets like
I was gonna say a woman in high heels, period, but then you can take those off, so it's not.
I saw a guy in a tuxedo.
Yeah, that's rough.
Today, like on the way here.
Yeah.
I saw a guy in a tuxedo. I don't know if he's getting ready to go to a wedding or what. But all of this happened on 610, by the way. So, like.
Maybe if you were a mascot and you were running late to work.
You had the costume on. I was thinking that too. Or, like a, like maybe you're in drag. Like maybe you're headed to party or maybe you're headed to your drag event and you get sideswiped at an intersection and now you gotta wait on the insurance man to come and now you gotta explain to people why you got on what you got on. It's like, look, don't say nothing to me right now. I know this looks crazy. I know this looks like, do you take, like, because the thing is, like, if you're in drag and you're on the way there, do you take the wig off before you get out of the car?
That's the thing.
Like, because it's already like you already got the dress on. It's already you got the makeup on too. So like, do you take the wig off or do you just like ride it out?
You just got to commit.
You got to commit, like because if you got your mascots, like you one of the mascots that spin the signs outside, like you get that's rough, man. That's rough because I seen hella people with like cowboy boots on and they cowboy hats and they got they
big old belt buckle on,
got their belt buckle and they tight jeans, they Wranglers. Yeah, that's rough, man. They got their Stetson on. They didn't even take the Stetson off. They just got out. And they was like trying to exchange insurance information. That's crazy. So also last night was Mariah Carey was in town and you went to that.
Yes,
so
I did.
Tell us about it.
So randomly, we at where I work, we get opportunities for things. Usually, we don't get a notice until the night of.
Right.
Typically, that hey, we have tickets for so and so.
Right.
I didn't even know Mariah Carey was on tour, let alone that she would be in Houston.
Right.
Let alone the same night as Cardi B.
Right.
But we were notified. We had some tickets extra. I requested them, and I took my ex. We went to that show instead because, there's like I said, I wanted no parts of that Cardi B traffic or anything. So,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Went to the Mariah Carey show. She's played at the Smart Financial Center.
A new spot out in Sugarland.
Yeah.
Nice venue. I still haven't been to the venue yet.
It's okay.
Yeah.
One thing I don't like about it, there are no monitors. So if you're up in the balcony, you really can't see what you look like. Like you can see the stage fine, but there's no monitors for people who are kind of far away to see what she looks like.
I would think they'd have to, put some renovations in there and do the monitors because I don't understand that because even at House of Blues they got TVs up on the wall. Like that's weird. I didn't know that.
I don't get it, but it is a nice venue. I've been there a couple times. I went to see.
What's the cap in there? Like 3,000?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's kind of smaller.
Maybe like 2,500. Something.
Yeah, smaller. The turnout honestly wasn't all that great.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of that was because of Cardi. Honestly,
you think it was like half full, or would you say it was like 75%?
I would say 75%, but there was no traffic getting in there.
Wow.
Like we took a lift. I thought it was going to be a little bit more busy. We just drove straight up.
I really didn't even know she was in town until I saw a couple people take pictures from in there.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know. Maybe she's on tour, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess you would expect more from Mariah Carey, like, a better turnout. But like you said, Cardi B was in town.
I think that was the main thing. I think if nobody else was here, that I think she probably would have had more people come out. But it was just a rough night to have a show in Houston. 2
weeks ago they had Babyface and Charlie Wilson there.
Yeah, I wanted to see that show, man. I'm mad I didn't go.
My boy Great House, shout out to Great House, man. He opened for him at the beginning, so it was pretty dope. He told me it was a dope show.
That's dope.
So yeah, man, like I still got to get to a show at Smart Financial. They've been putting on some good shows over there. The Osley Brothers have been over there
a few times. I went to some kind of like throwback 90s show. They had who was it? Monica was there.
I think I remember this.
Genuine was there.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Was it Drew Hill? No, it wasn't Drew Hill.
No, it wasn't Drew Hill.
There was a group though.
It was
right?
like Next, I think, or somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody, one of those, whoever, one of those groups. But Monica put on a good show. It was a good show.
They put together, at least for black artists, I think they put together shows similar to what you would see at like Arena Theater.
Yeah.
So that's dope, man. I think they, I don't know who promotes those shows over there, but eventually I'll get over there and, you know, catch something over there. So
Mariah herself, it was okay. The thing is, she is touring her new album, and I thought her new album was okay.
I still haven't heard it yet. I think we talked about that, and I still haven't heard it yet.
I thought it was all right.
Okay.
You know, it was pretty much what you'd expect from Mariah Carey. A little bit better than what I expected
from her. I think my guy B. Cox
2019.
did some production on there.
Yeah, it's a solid produced album, honestly. But when I got to see a Mariah show, I did not want to hear a whole lot of new Mariah songs, honestly.
Right.
She did a pretty decent job at the beginning of mixing in the new with the classics.
Yeah.
She opened up with that song that samples Crush on You.
Okay, yeah.
But then she transitioned that into, what was it? Not Fantasy, the other one. I can't remember. One of her other big singles. And it sounded good. It sounded really good.
What's the one that doom?
Dream Lover.
Yeah,
Dream
okay.
Lover. Yeah, she transitioned.
Dream Love.
She transitioned into Dream Lover.
Okay, yeah.
And so I'm hyped now. I'm like, okay, she's bringing back
she
the
in her
old.
bag now.
Yeah. So I'm excited.
And then she exited her bag.
She kind of did, man. She kind of did. I hate to say it.
That's crazy.
Because I'm a big Mariah fan. Like, I think she's one of the GOATs. But she did a lot of newer songs, and she did Fantasy, but she did like a weird remix EDM version first and transitioned into the classic song.
Yeah.
And then she did songs off of Glitter at one point.
Yeah.
I'm like, you could have left that at home.
Yeah. You could have left the glitter at home.
Yes, you could have did Breakdown. You could have did a whole lot of stuff from your earlier albums instead of Glitter.
So I think as an artist, that's hard because
I was going to ask you about that too.
It is hard because when you look, I probably got about like 40, 50 songs like in the marketplace, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not even anywhere near a caliber of a Mariah Carey or you know, anybody like that. But when you've been out for a long time and you got these classics and you got these, what was it? We Belong Together is like the most streamed song of the 2000s. Like literally the most, not streamed, but the most played song.
Yeah.
Played on radio, everything like that. It's like, it's got the record for the 2000s as the most played song in the decade, right? When you have songs like that, when you have songs like Dream Lover or the joint with ODB, Fantasy,
even like Vision of Love. Vision of Love is like 20 plus years old.
Yeah,
now.
like when you got songs like that, and you still putting out newer music, and you want to tour that music and you want to play that music, it does. Unless you're going to put on a 2.5 hour set, you do kind of leave your OG following hanging, and your new following isn't necessarily gonna be there anyway.
Yeah.
So, so you have to put in a type of work like a Beyonce.
Yeah.
Because Beyonce's
she
on
does
stage.
It really good. She does it really good.
Beyonce's on stage for 2 hours, and hardly ever does the Destiny's Child shit.
Yeah. But she's kind of a special circumstance though, because she has so many hits from to be honest, Mariah Carey did die out a little bit.
Yeah, she had a cold moment.
Yeah.
And she had like years of being cold.
Yeah.
And I don't even think it was because she was really putting out much music. I don't think she was putting out music at all.
Yeah,
like, I think,
personal issues she was dealing with.
Yeah, she was dealing with a lot. And you know, when you got people like even like Prince to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Like before Prince died, when he was touring, he wasn't even really doing nothing from Purple Rain no more.
He really had just started playing those songs again.
Yeah, he had got into his Jehovah's Witness thing for a while, and he just like anything from like 86 to like 89, he wasn't doing. And none of the stuff that he did before that, like Soft and Wet and all of that, like he wasn't doing none of that music. And he's putting out, you know, the 3121 album and then the MPLS album and all that kind of stuff. He was not performing none of his old shit.
Yes.
And for some, that'll piss people off. But then sometimes you got those artists that are like these icons that they go on their anniversary tour. Like I think Songs in the Key of Life with Stevie. Stevie did a whole tour for that.
Yeah.
just Songs in the Key of Life tour, which I would have loved to have seen. My parents went to go see it. Who else does stuff like that? Like, you got guys that do, when the 20th anniversary of Aquemini or Southern Playalistic, whichever one. I think it was Aquemini. What anniversary was that Outkast was when they went on those festival tours? It was 2016. So
was that a anniversary, or was that more so just them?
It was
reuniting?
like 20 something years. I don't know, since they dropped, or like 20 something years since an album dropped.
Okay,
I can't remember, but they were doing that festival tour, so they would do that. I think Nas did with Illmatic.
Yes, he did.
He did an Illmatic show, I think.
Yeah. Rappers do it quite a bit.
I think Jay did 15 years of from Reasonable Doubt. He did one show.
He did.
Somebody else is doing one now. It's like a 20-year, 25-year anniversary or something like that. I know So Def did their 25 years tour. They did a small tour last year. Bad Boy, they did their tour. Mm-hmm. So you can do that, but then like when you got like new music, I remember when I opened for Anthony Hamilton, a lot of people were mad at Anthony because he was on tour for his Christmas album. Yeah. And so people are like screaming, I want to hear Charlene. Yeah. And he's like, damn, like, we're going to give you that, but like, can I do my Christmas shit? Now it's December. I'm trying to promote an album. And it's hard because the audience a lot of times doesn't really understand it, and rightfully so. Yeah. But then the artist really wants to, like, a lot of the times these artists have label obligations. Mm-hmm. So if the label isn't seeing their return, then you hit a wall, and then you have bad dealings with the label, and then you have to try to make that right with them. And so they put out this album that is an obligation to the label, even if it's most of the time, a Christmas album is an obligation to the label.
Oh wow!
Because it's only gonna sell, seasonally. Mariah Carey might be one of the Mariah Carey, Donny Hathaway.
Temptations.
Well,
that might have been a whole Motown Christmas album. I don't know if that was just Temptations. Yeah, it was Temptations, I think.
It was, yes. And Jackson 5. Like, there's only a handful of artists that put out Christmas music that we still play to this day. Yeah. I think PJ Morton's Christmas album was really good. The one that came out last year. I think it was a great album, actually. John Legend put out a really good Christmas album last year, too. Yeah. But we're only listening to Christmas music around a certain time. Exactly. But that Christmas album is like it counts towards your album obligations. So I don't even like Christmas music.
Same here.
So if you ever think that I'm going to do a Christmas album, it's the chances are probably slim. But a lot of the times, when you do that Christmas album, you want to go on tour and you want to play some shows and get that Christmas album selling, because you only have a 2 to 3 month span of time where that music is going to sell. Because after Christmas, nobody's playing Christmas music anymore. And then you have to go and try to, you don't want to go on tour again for the same Christmas album the next year. Yeah. So so that's even worse of a situation. This was like December or so, and Anthony was doing this Christmas tour, and he had just been here earlier in the year, and people were mad, and people were saying stuff to me about it, like I could do anything about it, like why he ain't doing it. I'm like, yo, I don't look. He got business to take care of, you know what I'm saying? So, but it is hard, man. As an artist, you really want to perform your new shit. And unless your new music is infinitely better and better and better and better and better and better every year, like it's, you want to push that to sell the music, but you got to find a way to put in the old music. So it's stuff that I filtered out of my set list that, I liked performing at that time when I didn't have the new music. Yeah. And now, like, on the album, for me, it's hard to find the music that I don't want to perform. Mm-hmm. So I have to like figure out a way. So like when I'm doing I didn't even do my dates early. So I'm doing South by Southwest on March 14th and March 16th. March 14th, 8:30 at the Parker Jazz Club. So check that out. March 16th at the Gorin Brothers Hat Shop. So that's 9:00. Be there. Be rectangular. So I got 40 minutes at this South by Southwest show on the 14th. So now I have to like I know for a fact that I can do an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that I could do an hour and a half of records that are just going to jam and jam and jam. I also know that I'm an artist that not everyone knows yet. So I have to be able to kind of get to the point and figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So when I did the Life Jennings show, we had 45 minutes, and I probably had maybe like 2 or 3 more songs in the set, and it was like, yo, we hit exactly 45 minutes. And I was like, damn, we hit 45 like that quick. Like, the show can go fast.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a person that is like a Beyonce or like a maybe has a set list, something like Jay-Z's or something like that, or maybe like a Kanye set or something like that, those are so mapped out that the runtime, they probably have the runtime down to a T.
Yeah.
So every Beyonce set is probably exactly an hour and 45 minutes or an hour and 2 hours and 1 minute or something like that. They run in videos, they run in all types of stuff, and it's more of a scientific or more mathematic type of thing that when you're doing it. And in those aspects, you have to, like on the Run tour, people were mad that Beyonce didn't do more old Beyonce shit, and people were mad that Jay-Z didn't do more old Jay-Z shit. And I'm like, but this is the Jay-Z and Beyonce show. Yeah. So if you want to hear Dead Presidents, you got to go to the Jay-Z show. If you want to hear, if you want to hear, of course you're gonna hear Big Pimpin' at every Jay-Z show.
Yes.
But if you want to hear, Empire State of Mind, you're gonna have to go to the Jay-Z show.
Yeah,
because he plays that stuff at a Jay-Z show, but he ain't got that kind of time. So when you got 2 hours, now it's cut down. Jay-Z's now doing 45 minutes, and Beyonce's doing 45 minutes, and then they're doing like 20 together in all. Like when you really add it up. So yeah, man, I hate that Mariah didn't really get the exact turnout. I mean, obviously you want all your shows to sell out, but that's a hard sell, man, because a lot of people ain't really listening to the new stuff by the older artists. They still want to hear everything old.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And her vocal, like, I'm not gonna hate on Mariah Carey. Everybody gets old.
Has her vocals regressed?
I'm not. Well, yes, clearly. I don't think she sounds bad by any means. She could still sing it close enough, right? But she did Vision of Love at one point, and you could clearly tell this was no longer 96 Mariah. Like it was tough in some spots. So it was several notes lower than what it used to be.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But I mean, I'm glad she at least did it. Yeah. She didn't chicken out. That's one of her probably vocally difficult songs to sing.
It's a very difficult song to sing, man. That's a very, very, very difficult song to sing. I think the biggest mistake that people can make is trying to cover
anything Mariah.
Old Mariah ballads.
Yes.
Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Beyonce, and who's the other one?
I wouldn't say Diana. You can cover Diana.
No. You definitely shouldn't
Denise
cover
Williams,
Aretha.
maybe Aretha too.
You definitely shouldn't cover Aretha unless the church is in you.
Yeah,
you can't just come out here and just sing Aretha songs. It may sound cool, but like she got that seasoning.
Yeah,
and you can't.
Hard to replicate.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, like. Yeah, shout out to Mariah, man. I hope the rest of the tours. I don't know if it's the beginning of the tour, you think, or the middle
I'm not
of the tour?
sure. I think she had been on for a while. I didn't check how many dates she's done yet, but it was a cool show if you're a super Mariah fan. I was going to ask you though, going back to the whole thing about performing your new stuff. How do artists? I never realized what you just mentioned to me earlier about label obligations, and that might play a part in why artists want to push the new music in the show. But how do you feel about, like, let's say you go on tour 5 years from now, and everybody just wants to hear Define Love, but you got new stuff out that you think is jamming too.
Yeah.
How do you balance fan expectation with what you want to do, and what do you think is more important when an artist does a show? Because I think artists have different viewpoints on what they want to do versus what the fans want.
I think it's like I said, it's a few ways you can do it. You can do the 5-year anniversary of Define Love show. You can try to extend your set, or you can just try to do bits and pieces of the old stuff. You could do a medley of them, of the old joints. Like you could do it. And I think it starts in the studio though. The main part of this, and I tell people this all the time when they first get into music and stuff like that, like you got to figure out what type of artist you want to be.
Yeah.
And if you know that, you then don't have to question whether or not you're about to make a song that you never want to perform. Because let's go back to Cardi. Let's say, imagine if Cardi hated Bodak Yellow and just couldn't stand it. And she's got to now perform this for the rest of her life. Like if she falls off next year, the only thing that's going to get her shows again is Bodak Yellow and maybe one or two other songs.
Yeah.
But Bodak Yellow is the one that has it put her where she is, and it's just continued, right? So like there are points in people's careers that where the artists don't like the song that actually pushes them to the forefront.
I've noticed that.
Luckily for me, if I put the song out, it's because I liked it. And if I perform it a lot, it's because I like performing it.
Yeah.
So it's about really reinventing yourself and understand. Well, not even really reinventing yourself, but like making it a point to push what you got new and making it fresh. So like the only reason why I know Mariah Carey had an album out when it came out was really because you and maybe two other people had mentioned it to me, right? The label, in my eyes, seems as if they are taking the old set of rules and rolling out an album on an artist that's been out for 30 years.
Yeah.
Whereas in comparison, Solange, right, just dropped her new album yesterday, and the rollout was completely different. Seems like she had complete control over what she did with her rollout. Her and her team did her rollout the way they wanted to do it. It's really easy for us to say, yeah, she about to go on tour, but I really just want to hear A Seat at the Table again. But now she's developed, what you have to do is you have to develop an importance about your new music.
Yeah.
You have to tell people this is why it's important. This is why new music for me is important. Like D'Angelo didn't have to do much because D'Angelo didn't put out nothing for 15 years.
Yeah.
And all people wanted to hear was D'Angelo. And so if he put out new music, it was like, that's it. That's the rollout.
Yeah.
That's the rollout. And sometimes that's the formula, right? Like a lot of artists can't do that. A lot of artists can't sit for 15 years and not do shit, right?
Sade, D'Angelo.
Sade, D'Angelo. I'm trying to think of another artist that can do it, because Prince put out albums like every year for 30 years. At one point, I had I have every Prince album, right? At one point, it was like 38 albums.
Damn.
And some like you didn't even know. Some of them, honestly, as a supreme Prince fan, weren't that good.
Yeah.
But he just kept putting out music because that's what he did, right? I think Mike, what he wait, like 5-6 years in between?
He waited a little bit of time.
Thriller came out in 82, Bad came out in 87.
Yeah.
Right? 88, 87, something like that. Then History came out in like 91, 92. And then the joint with There was
next
one.
Dangerous came out, I think, before History. Actually.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so Dangerous was 91, 92. That was Teddy Riley. Yeah, that was Teddy Riley, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. Right. History was still a little bit of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. That's the one with Scream on it with Janet.
Yeah.
And then
Invincible, I think.
Invincible was like 2000.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, sold over 10 million records in 2000. So, like, there's not many artists that can really do that. I think Beyonce is one of those artists that can do that if she wanted to, right? But the point I'm making is that you have to develop an importance about the new music. And you have to get people's eyes on the new music. Because if you just throw out a new album, it's just like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. I'm going to listen to it, and it's cool. But it don't have the same effect on me that Vision of Love did, or it don't have the same effect as,
Emotions.
Or Voodoo, or, whatever. Like, and some artists, they do, like Frankie Beverly Mays ain't put out an album in like 35 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And they touring off the same music and selling out tours and, all that stuff. So, like, there has to be a fresh take on the way that you roll out an album, because you can't just throw a single on the radio no more and then just think that's going to be the thing. Like, people are legitimately rolling out a whole campaign the week the album drops.
Yeah.
And then putting the album out. And we ain't heard from them in a year, like, or 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just sitting there waiting, right? The rollout started, especially with Solange, the rollout started when you looked on the Coachella bill and she was headlining one of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, there's got to be a new album coming. Because she ain't going to just do a seat at the table again. It can't possibly be, that she just gonna do a seat at the table again. She did all the festivals for that. She didn't do Coachella that year, but she did like ACL and a lot of the big ones. I think they did Glastonbury and all that stuff. But like,
it's kind of what Beyonce did too, because she announced the tour and there was no new album out yet.
Yep.
And then pretty much a week later they dropped that Everything's Love. So.
Yeah. They were in the middle of the tour.
Yes.
They were in Paris when the album dropped.
Yeah.
And everybody just was like, oh, okay, well, there it is. You know what I mean? Like, even Jay-Z. Jay-Z had a rollout for this 444 album.
Yeah.
It was to the point, though. And it had some artistic value to it.
Yeah, viral marketing type of strategy.
Yeah. And, when you got artists that are under an old machine that are doing old shit, you can't, it's not really like the old model don't work no more.
Yeah.
The old model doesn't work anymore. So when, for somebody like a Mariah or like, who's used to selling millions, she might not be selling millions no more because they haven't figured out a way to reinvent the way that they present the music for her. And, for me, that's kind of the situation. And also, you got to put some money behind that type of stuff too, because in order for it to work, it's got to hit everybody all at one time. It's got to hit this viral. It's got to be viral. And because the way I look at viral is just any way you would look at a virus. It's like it goes from 2 people to 5 to 20 to 100 to 1,000 to 100,000. It's like. And it just spreads, man, and it's you get that rumbling going. And I remember when Beyonce dropped the self-titled album, that Beyonce album, and somebody did a satellite map of like how many times of the country, of like how many times Beyonce was mentioned, and like it just like lit up like it looked like genetic mutation. Like, it was like huge. Like, the way that thing lit up, the way people were just talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. Beyonce. And that's the type of power that you can, like, you know, for Beyonce to just wake up and say, hey guys, here.
When she posted her twins, I think that broke most of the social media apps. And these are apps meant for mass traffic.
You show people your children.
And I think she broke Instagram at one point. So many people were liking and reposting. Yeah, it was like crazy.
It's that's a type of fame that I don't even know if I ever want.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want that. Like,
power corrupts, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really go nowhere either. Yeah. Though. Like everything, you know, I do want to ask some of, like, whenever I get to meet like superstars, I really want to ask them, like, what's the one really simple thing you can't do anymore that you wish you could do? Even if it's just like, you know what, I just want to go and pump gas.
Yeah.
or I just want to go and you know, like it's a production to get Beyonce to go to Frenchie's.
Yes.
And she be wanting to go to Frenchie's, right?
Yeah.
It's like she comes to Houston, and it's like this whole, like,
it's an event.
Look, Beyonce coming, y'all got to chill, and this, you cannot be here tomorrow because you be tripping. You got the day off. Like, you know, they be going to Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And, you know, Marcus told me a couple times that, you know, you got to walk J and B in through the back.
Yeah, like they're the president.
And then put them in the corner.
Security.
And like that's hard, man, because you really just kind of want to be like everybody else sometimes, but then you also realize what you signed up for and you know, how you really ain't got no privacy. And, you know,
I would think they're kind of like backwards of what we want, kind of, in what they want now and what they miss. Because think of like the regular people, like we wish we can go on Paris vacations and do all the fancy high level rich stuff.
Yeah.
I think they probably just miss going to McDonald's.
Yeah,
and going to Wendy's and just chilling in the car one day.
You got the power to, like, have it delivered to you.
Yeah.
Like, you could get somebody to go make that run. But you also just kind of want to sit and eat the fries.
Yeah.
You want to go into the
just,
you know,
drive around and not know where you're going to eat.
Yeah.
And then, hey, let me go eat there.
Yeah.
And just pull up like it's nothing. They probably miss that.
Yeah.
Not having everything scheduled and coordinated.
There's a video of Jermaine Dupri, and I think B. Cox was in the car, and they were here. They were in Houston. This was maybe 7, 8 years ago. And they went to Taco Bell, and you know, they had a driver, and so they pulled up in the back so that Jermaine can, you know, from the back seat, so that Jermaine could order. And the dude said, he said, man, I need all the hot sauce, and I need all the mild sauce. And he said, all right, I got you, man. He said, all right, cool. When I got you, when I get up there, I got your tip too. So, and the boy said, man, play with me if you want to, man. So everybody started laughing, right? But when he pulled up, the dude opened he was like, oh, shit, because it was Jermaine Dupri. And he said, man, look. He told his homies, the homies ran up to the window. He's like, dog, I told you I got your tip for you. He said, man, look. He went and grabbed the tray of all the sauces and tried to hand the tray. He said, hey, man, how much sauce you need, bro? And he started handing them sauce. That mess was so funny. He's like, man, just give me I think they ended up filling like a bag of sauces.
Oh, damn.
It was crazy. But, yeah, like it's, you know, simple stuff like going to a drive-thru or going to like the few times that I've hung out with B. Cox. Like, even B. Cox has like a level of notoriety that people are like looking at him like, are you? And then, or like I might introduce him to somebody and he's like, they be like, Brian Michael Cox, I heard of you before. Like, you know, who do you know?
Yeah.
Or like being around Scarface. That's funny too.
Of course.
Because Face and everybody, man, what's happening, man, dog.
I got some music, bro. Man. I just think I want you to listen to it real quick.
Bro, I'm from the sunny side, baby. I'm from South Acres, man. Man, I fuss with your music, bro. Like it's so funny to watch that. And I just be looking like, yep, that's like, and then Face will like point his finger. Oh, I mean, he was on Hot Seat. And they'd be like, oh, okay, that's what's up. Yeah, but Face though. Man, I got I got balls, man. You know, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's funny also to see grown men.
Yeah, that's sad
like
to me, man.
40, 50-year-old men, like just hovering, and it's crazy. It's super crazy, man. But yeah, man, like that fame stuff, man. It's a different beast, man. Yeah. And I could see why somebody like Face doesn't really subscribe to that. Yeah, because he's not.
Not in his personality, really.
It's not in his personality. Scarface is like maybe one of the worst celebrities I know, and it's not even a bad thing. Yeah. He's just him. So it's just like he gonna say what he want to say. Exactly. He gonna do what he want to do.
Not filtered.
You know, he's a nice guy. You can shake his hand and what's up, homie? We good. But like the whole, hey man, I need to do that. No, don't. Please do not do that. Yes. Yeah, and I just be looking at dudes like, oh, this is not gonna go well. Yeah, man. I was in Chicago last week.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, how was that, man?
Chicago, in New York, it was cold.
Yeah, still.
What? So I went out 3 days early from my show. To work with Quentin Demps, former free safety for the Texans. He's in his music bag now. Okay. Fun fact, me and Quentin Demps went to college together. He was a senior when I was a freshman.
Oh, wow.
So I've known Demps for a decade now. And dope guy, man. We went out, and I was staying downtown for the first 3 days to go work with, and he gave me the address to the studio. Mm-hmm. And the studio was an $85 Lyft ride.
Damn.
Damn. I was livid. But also there's no other way I'm getting out there.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. It snowed when I got there. It was snowing when I got there. Mm-hmm. It was in the 20s, low 30s, but it was like a windy 30. So I think my second day out there, I stepped outside. It was 12 degrees.
Damn. So as soon as you felt that cold, you knew that Jussie Smollett had to be lying.
Yo.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I just want to talk about Chicago first.
Fam. So Chicago was cool, man. We had the band out. We had an Airbnb that the hot water kind of worked when it wanted to. I have two women in my band right now. So my bass player is a woman, and one of my background singers is my sister. Okay. So luckily they got hot water. I took the worst shower on Thursday night, the day after the show. The worst shower I have ever taken in my life, because not only was it cold, but it was like the pipes are also cold. Mm-hmm. So the water's also cold. Oh, it was bad. So I had to like stand at the end and like at the end of the shower so the water don't hit me, and then try to get my,
throw some of it a little on you.
Oh, it was bad. I was clean though, y'all. Don't trip. Don't ever play yourself. But I was out there, it was cool. But Chicago's a beautiful city, man. Love Chicago. I definitely want to go back out during the summertime or something like that when the weather's a lot better. It's a dope city. They got great food, man. My verdict is they really do have good food, right? Okay. They have great food. I think Houston got them though on the food.
Yeah. It's the South, man. Come on now.
We did have a Harold's Feast. So we ordered the Harold's, Uber Eats. We had the catfish, the perch, and the chicken. All the sauces, all that, you got to get the sauces right. Catfish was great. The perch was great. The chicken was good, but it's not Frenchie's though.
Yeah, of course.
It ain't as good as French. And I couldn't remember the name of the other chicken place in Chicago, and maybe 3 different people have told me, but I couldn't remember the name of it. So if you're from Chicago, please let me know what it was. They told me to keep going. They told me to go to Giordano's for the deep dish pizza. I ended up meeting my attorney at Lou Malnati's.
Okay.
Which Lou Malnati's was pretty damn good pizza. I am partial to New York pizza though. I can definitely say that with a semi-informed, thought process that I am partial to New York pizza over Chicago pizza.
Okay.
Also, it depends on where you go too. Like you can't just get pizza just from anywhere. I don't even know why they have a Domino's in New York, but they have them, and a Pizza Hut. But yeah. So shout out to Chicago, all the people that came to the show. Very intimate set. We had a good show. It wasn't an incredible amount of people, but we still rocked out, partied a little bit after. It was dope, man. It was cool. Jussie was arrested. Maybe the day after my show or the day of my show. The warrant was issued while I was out there.
Yeah.
And then he went and that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
So I was going to ask you the best and worst places you performed so far, but we'll get into that first. Let's talk about Jussie Smollett since we're already on the topic, man. So what do you think about that whole saga, man? What do you think went through that young man's head, assuming that the allegations are true and he did stage an attack upon himself in order to gain, I guess, some sort of fame or clout because he was unhappy with his salary of $65,000 per Empire episode or something?
Yeah, Jussie's a weird case to me, man. And I want to handle this with care because there are people out there, and it maybe could be him still. It could be still. But there are people out there that are actually victims of hate crimes.
Yeah.
Victims of all of the things that he alleges to have happened.
Yeah, it's not a myth just if this isn't true itself. People are acting like it is just because he lied.
Right. I don't understand it with him, though. I don't understand why you would do that. I don't understand why you are seemingly disgruntled. I don't know if I buy completely that angle to it, whether or not he was angry about his salary, because they did, side by side of what his salary was compared to Taraji and compared to Terrence Howard. Well, if we're going to be honest, Taraji and Terrence Howard, as much as we make fun of Terrence Howard, they have a catalog of films and accomplishments that garner being paid $175,000 an episode.
Yes.
And if not, they probably should be getting paid more, honestly. Especially Taraji, I think. So for a guy like Jussie Smollett, who obviously he's been acting for years, like since he was a kid, you ain't really ever been popping like that. Like, I don't remember you in any other films. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like I saw him in the Thurgood Marshall movie playing Langston Hughes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's Jussie. But only because I knew him from Empire.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Jussie Smollett was before. Like, I know he's done movies and TV shows before. I know who his sister is. I know Journey Smollett. Mm-hmm. I don't know you. So, not to say, and that has nothing to do with whether or not anybody thinks you're talented or not talented, but for someone to come out of a subway and scream, ain't you that F word, N word from
Empire.
I don't know any Klan members watching Empire.
This is MAGA country. As they beat them.
This MAGA country, like it's kind of like, for me, it sounded like that time where, like you see those white people who spray the white guy who spray painted Black Rule on the side of his car. Like, bro, don't nobody say that. Like, come on, man. Rule. Like, it was weird. And then the story that he told about, getting punched in the face and he hitting the dude back, and then him hitting the dude back, and then there's...
He's a gay Tupac, man. He fought back.
That part I'm going to get to. But he and then they poured bleach on him, and then they
put a noose
around his neck. To my knowledge, I don't remember seeing any marks on his neck from when he took that picture in the hospital. Remember he took that picture in the hospital?
But he kept the noose on, though.
He kept the noose on, and he said he didn't want to get rid of the evidence.
Yeah. No black person thinks like that.
No, it doesn't. Like, take the noose off,
yes,
and then be like, "Yo, he put this shit around." Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and him getting the black eye, and then there was the weirdness about like Lee Daniels speaking up about it and then deleting it soon after. Nobody really saying anything else about it. I don't really recall Taraji saying anything about it. It's just weird. And it's just like, and then you go 2 days later, 3 days later to your concert and you pull out these cue cards and you give this speech and then you tell everybody that you're the gay Tupac.
Yes.
And then you describe to people that there were 2 white men, right? So you're describing that there's 2 white men that does, and then the only people that they can find on, and then the surveillance camera picks up 2 men, and you say that's the ones, and then they go find the ones, and then it's 2 Nigerians, actors at that.
One was an extra on Empire,
brothers. I would venture to say that if I was a victim of a hate crime and I was able to survive the encounter, I would know whether my assailant was black or white.
Yeah.
I would have even maybe believed it a little bit more if you said I couldn't tell they had ski masks on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a polar vortex outside. It was negative 20 degrees outside. You know what I'm saying? Like that to me doesn't make sense to me. And then they take them in for questioning. And then I believe in the last week or so, I've heard that there's some type of footage of the guys buying the stuff that was being used.
They have it on camera, them buying the ski masks, gloves, stuff like that. That's already been released to the public. People have seen it.
That's crazy.
And now they're already saying that they were paid $3,500
by a check, and then they came back and said, well, you know, we got text to prove that was for personal training, and that it was that. And and then apparently, like, there was a story out that they rehearsed the situation the day before, and he was banking on a camera on the street to pick it up, but the camera was turned the opposite way. Then there's the rumor of him being written off the show.
Yeah.
And
which the writers denied that.
And him kind of wanting to get his career off the ground, you know, after the fact. What we know about the Chicago Police Department is that they aren't trustworthy.
Yeah.
What we also know is that Jussie ain't done nothing yet to make me believe him.
Yeah.
Because none of this makes sense. So, do I think the cops may be a little bit overzealous in like why this is happening, or the alibi, or not the alibi, the motive behind all of this stuff? Probably. But do I think Jussie Smollett survived a hate crime from guys that size and only came out with a black eye? I just think that if it's a hate crime, hate crimes are a very, very, very touchy subject in America, right? So, like, when you think about hate crimes, when I think hate crimes, I'm thinking Emmett Till. I'm thinking my man from Jasper, where they drugged that man Odin Lloyd. Yeah, they drug him by his feet on a pickup truck, and his head fell off.
Yeah.
When I'm thinking hate crimes, I'm thinking a man walking into a gay club.
Wait, no, it wasn't Odin Lloyd. That was the dude who was killed by Aaron Hernandez. I don't know where.
You're right.
James Byrd Jr.
Yeah, James Byrd Jr. You know, again, he was drugged by his feet until his head fell off. Like, I don't know if many people outside of Texas really remember that situation, but like, this man was drugged by his feet by some white supremacists in Jasper, Texas. Wrapped him, tied him to a pickup truck and drug him until his head fell off.
Yeah.
Up and down the street, just drug him. When I'm thinking about a hate crime, I'm thinking about a man walking in with an automatic machine gun and killing every person in a gay club. Mm-hmm. Well, damn near every person in a gay club. And then going into a bathroom and then shooting everybody in the bathroom. And then, you know, also, when I'm thinking hate crime, I'm thinking somebody spray painting nigger on LeBron's gate. That's a hate crime.
Yeah.
But when we're talking about a violent hate crime, I've never seen the assailant of a hate crime take it easy on you. Normally we see them finish the job.
Yeah.
Normally you can and a lot of the people that may have and ain't many of them that have survived, but the people that have survived these things can go into detail and tell you exactly what happened. They got the marks to prove it. You know what I'm saying? They got every bit of the evidence that we need.
Yeah.
But when your story is all over the place and you telling us it's two white men and it's two Nigerians that ain't even close to being white that they done picked up, and it's the only people they ain't seen on the street the whole time. And then there's the they found the sandwich wrapper at the house.
Something like that. They found this whole thing started, I guess, when he got some kind of letter.
Yeah, like a Silence of the Lambs, as like where they cut out magazine pieces
with
on
some kid drawing on it, looked like almost. And now they were last I checked, they were looking at the brothers magazines because I think they saw there were pages cut out, so they're trying to see if that matches up.
Yeah, like, bro, what are we doing? Like, I just don't understand. I just don't see how you are the face of being the gay black man, the famous gay black man. I think we got other famous gay black men that are far more famous.
Yeah, Don Lemon,
Billy Porter.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gay men out there, gay black men that are doing their thing that are famous enough to where people may recognize you or what have you. I just don't think I just don't understand. I don't understand why he felt like he had to be the one. And to me, it would have had to have been an attention situation. It had to be let me go viral on this shit, or let me figure out, and I like, part of me wants to be a lot of me wants to be completely wrong. I want to be able to look up and say, damn, like, that really happened.
Yeah.
But I don't see how it happened. I don't see it. And I don't understand why. First of all, Empire ain't been popping for a few seasons.
Yeah.
We ain't collectively been giving a shit about Empire since
Power came out, and it was much better.
Power's is definitely a better show. We just haven't been looking at that and caring about that. Empire is like the guilty pleasures, the train wreck you don't want to look away from, but you just want to see how far they're going to go. It's kind of like all the Trapped in the Closet episodes afterwards. Like, it's like, this is terrible.
But you have to see.
But I got to see what's next here, because I got to figure out what kind of dumbass shit y'all thinking up in this writer's room, right? I just don't understand. And
the thing with him, I feel like he was already on the trajectory to bigger success already. If he just kept doing what he was doing. There was pictures of him with Obama. He met Obama.
Yeah.
He was on CNN panels.
Yeah.
Like, he was already being positioned. And let's be honest, like, him being a gay black actor in Hollywood will put him in a lot of spaces where he could probably, you know, I'm not going to say there's a mafia out there, but I think he would be successful if he just kept going the trajectory he was on.
Yeah, man.
But
I think the society we live in now is very hyper sensitive to like wanting attention and wanting to be in the limelight and wanting to be, you know, you want the 1,000 likes on Instagram, and you want the million hits on your YouTube channel or whatever it is. I think excuse me. I think a lot of people sometimes are worried about being more famous than rich.
Yeah.
Or more famous than wealthy, being able to feed their families. Jussie's just a weird, and when the dust settles and this is all like figured out and everybody knows like this is what happened, and which we may never completely know what happened, but like if it basically is set that like, yo, he lied, Jussie has a lot of people to apologize to.
Yeah.
Because again, there are real victims out here, and you took a very, very sensitive subject and issue in this country, and you weaponized it and you used it for your own gain.
Yeah.
Not only that, but you weaponized being black and being gay at the same time. So not only do you have the black community to apologize to, but you also have the gay community to apologize to, and every person in the world who got to deal with a hate crime in some type of way.
Who defended him in the beginning.
Everyone who defends him, you got to apologize for that. And then when you're done apologizing, you just got to go away, bro, because your career is finished.
Yeah.
Like, you are finished after this. Ain't no way you gon', you know, what was that they said that his album, you know, people were talking about his album wasn't, which I didn't even know the nigga had an album.
Yeah, me neither.
They said he sold like 2,500 copies or something like that. And I think what set it off for me, the one thing that actually was like, okay, yeah, this nigga's lying, is when he got up there and he really said he was the gay Tupac because he fought back. I don't even know what that means. Like, what did Tupac do? That Tupac shot the police and got off. Yeah. That's what he did. Tupac shot 2 off-duty police officers who stole a gun out of the evidence locker.
Yeah.
And they were beating up a black man. He got out and shot at the cops in Atlanta. It was Atlanta, right?
I think so.
And he got off because he was right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Tupac also beat up the Hughes brothers on the set of Menace to Society.
He did.
And then bragged about it on Rap City.
And then ended up going to jail.
Yeah.
Got him indicted.
Yeah.
I don't know what about that said gay Tupac to me. I don't know what about this situation made you feel like you was a revolutionary.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I just it's just weird, man. Jussie, you get it together, fam. Yeah. And what was crazy about it was how Jussie goes and gets his mugshot taken, and then a day later, R. Kelly's waltzed into the same jail.
I was just gonna bring that up next.
And taking a mugshot picture on the same wall.
Yes.
This all happened while I was in Chicago. Actually, I tweeted, all right, so Jussie's in jail. My Chicago trip would be extremely, it would be made if we could just get R. Kelly to just go ahead and take it in. And the indictment came while I was out there, but he turned himself in late at night while I was in New York.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally. And then he couldn't bail himself out.
Yeah.
And so he goes and gets some lady to go bring a daycare owner.
Yeah.
A female daycare owner bailed out R. Kelly.
Yeah. Allegedly with his money, but I don't know.
And
that's true.
He ain't got $100,000.
Yeah.
He ain't got it. That's like they said he ain't have it. A female daycare owner bailed R. Kelly out. The man who's arrested for having sex with a 14-year-old on TV, on camera, and referring to her as a 14-year-old.
Yes.
On the
yes, indicting himself in his own tape he made.
Even
multiple
worse.
times, because this is a different tape now.
Yeah, it's a different tape. This is another tape.
Yes.
This is the sequel.
Yes.
He put out a sequel. He got a sequel to
he put out a remix.
Yo, he probably has like a Fast and Furious catalog.
Yes.
Like,
no, he actually does. He does. And they actually they confiscated his whole collection back when he originally was charged back in 2003 or something.
Yeah.
But it was inadmissible because the search warrant was, they either didn't have a search warrant or it was under weird things that didn't justify it. So it got thrown out of court.
Did you hear how they got the tape?
How?
The girl he molested on this show, on this film,
VHS,
on this VHS tape. The uncle found out. The uncle took the tape and hid the tape in exchange for R. Kelly paying him for 18 years.
That's crazy.
18. First of all, if we're thinking timelines here, right? 18 years puts us back to 2001. He got indicted in like 03.
Yeah, something like that.
He went to start. Well, court started in 03. He got acquitted in 09. Right? 2001. Since 2001, he's had this video. When R. Kelly stopped paying the guy, he turned the video over.
Yeah.
The uncle needs to go to jail.
And see, that goes to my point too, man, because R. Kelly is a monster, but I think
his enablers are just as bad.
Exactly.
His enablers are just as
members
bad.
Pimped out their own family, their own daughters, stepdaughters, cousins. They pimped them out. They're just as bad to me.
They are maybe in some ways worse.
Yeah.
Because there's no way my niece or my daughter or sister, whatever, there's no way I'm finna know that this is happening and then say, all right, cool, I don't really like you, but
I'll keep my mouth shut for
a small fee. For a small fee, your rent is due. I need that rent paid. And there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's so many people. And again, like I've talked about this a million times, but like there's so many men that really failed these women.
Yeah.
And there's so many like supposed fathers and, uncles and what? Like that makes no sense to me. I don't even know how he got bail. I don't even know how in 2019 we are still bailing out people. Like he's been here before. And he was in the video and he paid off everybody. But when that gravy train slow up, it's a different situation. When that money stopped coming in and when you were too stupid to read your contract because you can't read your contract and you don't own none of the rights to your music and them tours slowing up and the record sales start slowing up, and then you get dropped from your label, the label who's also been financing your escapades, inadvertently, or maybe they knew. They probably knew.
Probably.
So
do you think he's done now?
I think he's going to jail, bro.
Okay.
I think he's going to do a lot of time in jail. What the dude say on Twitter? It's a meme. He said, when you won the prison.
The talent show. When you won the
prison talent show 6 years straight, and Robert Kelly. So not gonna lie, I'm gonna still try to win though.
Yeah. you doing his songs and then he come in. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, like, So I really hope, man. I really hope that. I thought it was gonna end differently though.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna end up with.
You thought he was going to take his own life?
I thought a girl was going to kill him and then kill herself.
No.
It just seemed like that was going to be the one. I'm glad that so far that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
But R. Kelly is a terrible human being, man. He's an awful human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. So glad you're in jail, man. Well, you've been bailed out, but I'm glad you're in jail.
Yeah, you going there.
Hopefully they took his passport. You think they took his passport?
I don't know. I would assume
I'd have to take his passport.
Yeah,
gotta take his passport.
The fact, usually, I think if they argued against him getting bail, it would be that they thought it was a flight risk. So there had to be a reason that they posted, they allowed him to bail out.
And you can be a flight risk. If you get somebody to book you for a concert,
yeah,
you ain't got to pay for the flight ticket.
Yeah. But I don't think he has the money to disappear like that anymore.
No, he can't disappear like that no more.
Yeah,
so
he's gone.
Shout out to the aura, man. You are getting exactly what you deserve right now.
Yeah.
So, it was a nice coat he had on though when he was turning himself in. Coat's pretty.
The production. Dope. It was a production.
It was definitely a production. Jussie going to jail looked wild, bro. Man, did you see him?
Yes. Dog, they treated him like he was OJ.
Man, what?
They had a helicopter following his SUV after he turned himself in. I'm like, come on. Y'all spent helicopter money on Jussie Smollett from Empire?
He looked wow. Jussie, you look so funny in the light right now. Yeah, man. Shout out to Chicago, man, because Chicago went through it the last couple of months, man.
So going back to your performances, I know you like to usually share a story. So this might be able to parlay into one. But I was going to ask you, since you just came back from Chicago and New York and all that, what are your favorite places to perform? And what are your least favorite places to perform so far? Just based off of, like, I'm not even talking about turnout. I'm talking about, like, vibe, where the audience is rocking with you or not. Like, where are the best places you performed at, and where are the worst so far?
New Orleans. New Orleans is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because I've built such a base out there and a following, and me and my guy Madani have put on really good events out there, and the vibe is just like everybody in New Orleans is really when they rock with you, man.
Yeah.
And they'll be at everything that you at. And in fact, I'll be there May 18th at the NOLA Soul and Arts Fest at Louis Armstrong Park. The tickets go on sale pretty soon, I think. But definitely, man, I love New Orleans. I love performing in New Orleans. Always a great vibe. The production of it is always dope. It's like a second home now. Worst, I don't have a specific place, but anywhere that the sound is really bad.
Okay.
Don't like that. Definitely. So there was a story time.
Okay.
There was a club in Sugarland that wasn't open for very long.
Okay.
Clubs open and close for whatever reason. So 2013 or so, 2012, I was asked by a promoter to come and do a set out there, like a 2-hour set, one of those club gigs that, typically people do out here that I don't necessarily do a lot of because I don't really do that type of thing. It's just not what I do. But I quoted them a price. They gave me the price. They gave me money, whatever. We get out there. I'm performing, and there's no stage, so I'm like performing on the floor, kind of and like on the dance floor, pretty much.
Sam Cooke style.
Yeah, and we're at a I got a band, and we're in the middle of the performance. Oh, good Lord. There's what was it? The cleaning guy, those little Hispanic guys that walk around and they clean up everything.
Racist, but okay.
It's not racist, but every time I see them, they always Mexican.
Mexicans,
always little Mexican, man. So that does sound racist. I'm sorry. But yeah, the little guy, he's didn't speak any English, so he just is like moving around and like cleaning up stuff. So I'm performing, and all of a sudden, all the sound goes out.
Oh no!
I'm like, what is going on? I look back. My bass player is looking at him like, what are you doing? And I looked, and the band was like, yo, he unplugged the sound. And I said, huh? He's like, yeah, he was cleaning, and then he just unplugged the sound and just like almost walked away.
Oh, wow. During the show?
Yeah, we're in the middle of a song.
Okay.
So we look, and I'm trying to talk to him, but he doesn't speak English.
Oh, no.
So he doesn't understand. Like, I think what happened was he was cleaning, and he probably tripped a wire or something, and then unplugged, or he tried to move something and he unplugged it, and he didn't really understand that all of these chords back here and all of this stuff here
is there for a reason.
Is there because if it goes out, you don't have a show. Mm-hmm. So we took like probably like a 15-minute like break because we trying to get everything plugged back in and trying to get all of the soundboard put back up. So yeah, that happened. Hated that show.
You ever go to a place and just the vibe was weird, like it was too many dudes there or something? Or
that's normally every rap show I do.
Oh wow.
Every single rap show is just it's just because it's not my music is for for women for the most part, like women and couples and all that kind of stuff. Like that's my main demographic. So at rap shows, it's just like always a weird situation. I think I've done a couple of shows where I've opened for rappers as a singer, like doing, and it's just it's a crappy vibe because it's like,
unless you Jaheim, you ain't gonna be rocking.
Yeah, I don't want to sing to a bunch of men, especially men that don't want to hear me sing.
Yeah.
And if they do want to hear me sing, they want to hear me sing that hook that I did on the rapper's song. They want to hear that. They don't care about, most of them don't care about me. Like, I'm not singing lips to a room full of dudes. Like, that don't make sense.
Yeah.
So, those are always weird vibes when there's just a bunch of men in a room and they're not accompanied by women.
Yeah.
And they're not actively trying to seek women. Yeah. They're just in there thugging it out with the homies. Like do you think about how weird that is? You walk into a room and it's just all types of weed in the room and the drinks are flowing, but it's just 200 men. like
rough vibe, man.
And everybody looking at you crazy. Your shirt's halfway open. whatever I'm wearing at the time. And I'm singing all my greatest hits.
Yes. You know what's the weirdest concert vibe I've been to so far, man? LL Cool J.
Oh, yeah, that is a weird concert.
Because his songs are very, very, very different demographics depending on what he performs.
Yes.
And the way he does it is not a seamless transition.
No.
It's not like I'm going to go from Mama Said Knock You Out and then slowly transition into the love songs. No, he will go from Mama Said Knock You Out immediately into I Need Love.
Yeah.
Immediately back into some off of Any Given Sunday.
Or Love You Better.
Yes.
Yeah, because I saw him at the rodeo, and he was doing exactly that. It was
it's rough, man, because you getting hype, and then the next minute
he's like, I can't do it when I'm on radio. It is fine too, babe. I've been on that. I can't love you better. Yeah, and then he already is licking the lining off his lips.
Yes.
Like he's already just like, yo, pause, man.
Got all these,
what are you doing?
Rose petals on the screen.
Yo,
and all that.
L, what you doing? L, what you doing? Yeah, like that is an odd dynamic right there. That is an odd dynamic. I think maybe the closest person in rap that might have a similar situation is probably like Fabulous.
Yeah. He's one. Drake kind of, but I think most of his music kind of leans that way anyway.
Yeah, it leans towards women mostly anyway. So
but yeah, Fabulous is up there too.
Speaking of odd concert.
Talking about Ja Rule now.
Yo, we got Ja Rule on the phone. We got Ja Rule on the phone. I want to hear from Ja Rule. I don't want to dance. I'm scared to death. Ja Rule at the Milwaukee Bucks game was a complete disaster. First of all, why are we booking Ja Rule?
Okay, let's
2019.
let's pump the brakes for a second, man. Okay, right. I know Ja Rule is a joke right now.
Ja Rule is a joke.
Fire documentary came out and it put him on blast. I understand that. Let's not act like Ja Rule was not one of the hottest acts of the early 2000s, though, because that's how I try to like. People are acting like they have no reason why they don't understand why you would book Ja Rule for anything.
Right.
Ja Rule has some hits, man.
Look,
people went to that Ja Rule and Ashanti concert, probably more so for Ashanti than him. But Ja Rule did have some hits. He was topping the charts for a good couple years.
All right, so you ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. Ja Rule has hits. I didn't like not one of them Ja Rule hits.
You didn't like
nope.
Holla Holla?
Nope.
Hey, he kind of killed
Holla Holla was okay.
You didn't like his verse off of Can I Get Him? With Jay-Z?
I think he had the worst verse.
Emil was worse. Well, actually, no. Emil kind of killed it, too.
Okay. Thank you. Emil had a better verse than Ja Rule. Come on, man. X was on there, right?
Yeah. Wait, no. He wasn't.
No, that's not the one that.
Yeah, he was on Money Cash Hoes.
Money Cash Hoes. That's one thing. Yeah. I've never heard a Ja Rule record that Ja Rule had the best verse on.
There are some Ja Rule songs I thought were okay. I thought Clapback was okay.
Hell no.
You didn't like Clapback?
No.
Come on, man. That beat was cold. The
beat.
Wait, you didn't like Thug Lovin' with Bobby Brown?
Hell no.
Come on, Jack. You didn't like that song?
They tried Bobby out there with the stroke jaw. Had my man out here looking crazy. Murder!
Coming out the helicopter.
Yo!
That music video was legendary,
man.
And
again, this was like, the beat was cool.
Yeah.
Even Bobby in his recovery was okay.
Yeah.
I never want to hear Ja Rule on a record. Ever. I never want to hear Ja Rule. Like, I give Ja Rule credit for... I don't even give him credit for that. That was fabulous. Introducing us to Lil Mo.
That's true.
I didn't like none of the shit he did with J-Lo.
Yeah, I didn't either, really.
The
way you walk, the way you talk.
Yeah. How did it go? No,
that was a song that J-Lo said nigga on, too, and she got in trouble for that. Yeah. People got upset.
They killed her for that.
And then she went all the way the other side, pop around after that.
She went.
After the Shine Club shooting.
She went full Shakira after that. Yeah, Ja, Nah, that ain't it, bro. And then, first of all, Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
Yo, whoever is in charge of Milwaukee's like booking.
Yeah.
Nah, we not with it. It's 90s. He said it's 90s night. And even though I'm a 2000s artist, but my album Vini Vidi Vici came out in 99, so I guess it's okay. Yo, Ja, you got to get the hell out of here with that shit. Nah, yo, are we ready?
That was embarrassing,
Are
man.
we ready?
That was real sad.
I guess not.
Sad. And then the music starts anyway.
Yeah, what? You know you're bad when the team just starts shooting around you.
Yes, Giannis was already putting in work.
The whole team, there was a couple of guys out there shooting. Giannis was at half court damn near.
Yeah.
Next to the dancers.
Yeah.
Shooting. The only thing good about that Ja Rule thing was his Ray Allen jersey.
Yeah.
Everything else was primetime trash. Like certified dog shit.
It was bad.
Ja has to go all the way home with that.
I got to say, though, I didn't like the fact that Milwaukee trashed him on Twitter after having him do the show. Now, I understand you get your jokes off, but just I didn't like how that looked because they booked him for it.
But then he had the nerve to like tell us about to try to put a curse. You are now cursed. You
like trying to do a Lil B thing.
And Giannis is going to leave you. Ja, we don't even. You haven't sold a record since you went to jail.
It's been a while.
Like
you. It's been a while. 50 Cent put him in the ground, honestly.
50 Cent put that whole label in the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that and what was it? The indictment. The whole money laundering indictment.
Oh yeah,
also,
yeah.
That also derailed everything. But yeah, I was just never like I'm on record of never having been a Ja Rule fan ever in my life. And I just don't ever like I ain't never heard a song where he's been on the song and others were on the song and he had the best verse.
That's true.
He never had the best verse. And the only one I kind of liked, and it's also because of the beat and Lil Mo, was I Cry.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I don't remember nothing he said on that song. Yeah, that's I guess it's murder. It's murder.
Hey,
and that Firefest shit is crazy. That Firefest. And then he told, well, you never know. We might revamp it and bring it back. Ja, shut up. Shut up.
Oh,
what are you
man.
talking about, Ja? Who gives a fuck what Ja Rule has to say about it?
Terrible, terrible career decisions. Could have been in every Fast and Furious movie. But when the Hughes brothers reached him out, or it wasn't the Hughes brothers. Who was that who directed Fast 2?
John Singleton.
Yeah, John Singleton. He turned him down.
He said it was beneath him.
Yeah, he did. And now
Ludacris don't even want to rap no more. Luda! Let me put a little bit of excitement up in your lifestyle. Yeah. Ja would have been in jail anyway, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You would have missed it.
Yeah. Ja's not the smartest, sharpest knife in the drawer.
It don't seem like it. Well, since we kind of talking about sports, man, let me get your opinion on a couple things that are going on right now. Biggest of which are probably the Patriots owner, Robert Kraft, another Robert K, who just got in trouble. 2 counts of soliciting prostitution from a massage parlor in Florida. What were your thoughts on this, man?
Robert Kraft spending 11 minutes in a massage parlor.
He went the day of the AFC title game, by the way.
And spending $80.
Yeah.
First of all, imagine Robert Kraft or any billionaire getting a prostitute, handing her $100 and wanting his change back.
Yeah. I believe I get $15 here.
So so there's part of this that is funny.
Yeah.
The one part that isn't funny about it is that this was like a sex trafficking ring, and that part ain't cool.
Yeah.
I don't know that he knew that this was a sex trafficking ring. I think he just was trying to get his rocks off.
Mm-hmm.
If he knew, though, that's rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be different.
He's been in a midlife crisis thing for a while now, though.
Yeah,
his wife passed away. I haven't seen him with anybody older than 30.
Yeah, he's been very, very entrenched in the rap community for some reason.
Yeah. The 76ers owner mentioned that he was, they were out with some girls or whatever. Just kind of in passing when they were talking about Meek Mill. Yeah, he's been in a weird situation over time. I mean, he probably was like that when his wife was. I mean, if we're being honest, like old white billionaires are
a weird breed,
as we've seen with Bezos and
Donald Sterling,
Jerry Jones.
Yep.
I mean, they I don't put much past these guys anymore. $80 though.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying the price just got cut in the game these days. Because like, what? Robert Kraft paid $80.
Right.
You know
about to pay $150?
I ain't pay $10,000. Robert Kraft paid $80. That's the deal I want. Give me the special.
Give me the Robert Kraft.
Give me the Robert Kraft special. That's the special I want.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's it's an odd, man. It's an odd situation. And then he went back, didn't he?
Yeah.
After the game.
Yeah. They caught him for 2 visits. So yeah.
And they said he wasn't even the highest profile name in the ring.
Yeah. I'm wondering who could be bigger than him.
I'm hoping it's Donald Trump.
Well,
I'm hoping that
will
Donald
do
Trump.
Nothing to him though, because he's already had cases against him. He's already been accused of sexual harassment, I believe.
But my guy Cohen is out here singing
like
Ashanti out here.
He is.
Oh, baby. He's telling everything, and I love it.
Yeah.
I think Donald is crumbling pretty soon. But Robert Kraft, man, get your life together, man.
Yeah.
Get it together. Try to stay out of the massage parlors.
What do you think about Antonio Brown right now, man? He has basically said he's leaving the Steelers.
Right.
The Steelers have openly pretty much said that they're going to try to move him. He appeared on LeBron James's HBO show.
Yeah, I didn't see it yet.
I saw clips.
Okay.
And basically,
it came out last night, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he was basically just talking about, expanding on what he's already said on Twitter.
Right.
Things about Ben Roethlisberger, talking about how Ben would throw him under the bus for not running a route right, even though it was Ben's fault because he threw the ball to a D lineman instead.
Right.
So he's basically vocally voicing his frustrations with the organization. What do you think about him, and where do you think he fits going forward, and what team do you think should pick him up?
I think there's ways that he maybe could have handled it differently.
Yeah.
I do feel him, though. I think he's right.
Yeah.
I think Ben is absolutely the type of guy that will throw his teammates under the bus. I mean, we all know he's the type of guy who, will find a way to take advantage of
in a restroom.
In a restroom.
Allegedly.
Twice. I don't know, man. I think he maybe immature in the way he may have gone about a couple of things. Yeah. But I also am not surprised by this because this is kind of the same thing Le'Veon was kind of dealing with too, with those guys. I think there needs to be a certain type of balance for him because he, like I said, he is a bit immature in the way he kind of handles certain things. I do think it's probably time for him to go.
Yeah.
It's definitely time for him to go. Anytime you're that unhappy and the team is unhappy, just you got to part ways with him, bro. Where do I think he goes? My guess is he will either be a 49er or a Raider.
Okay.
Are the Raiders a good idea? I don't know.
With John Gruden? No.
I'm not sure. Are the 49ers a good idea? Probably so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other places I think he could go. I don't think Miami's a good fit. I don't think that's a good fit for him. Just because I saw the way they fumbled Jarvis Landry, and that would be a terrible situation. I think the Cleveland Browns are crazy enough to try to shoot for him.
Yeah.
I don't think they have anything that they want to give up, though. I don't think they want to give up Jarvis for him.
Yeah.
Who else?
The
Colts got a lot of money.
Yeah, that too.
But I think the Colts are probably going to end up getting Le'Veon.
Yeah.
Houston has a lot of cap space too. Right
I've
now.
heard that being tossed around, but I very much doubt.
I don't think he's going to come because if he's mad at Juju, if they say he's mad at Juju,
exactly,
Hop is going to piss him off completely.
The Texans are very big on quote unquote character. Reportedly. So I don't. Yeah, I
absolutely
agree.
Ridiculous.
But I don't think they would roll the dice on somebody like Antonio Brown.
My bold prediction is that he probably ends up in Dallas.
Oh man, I hate that.
And the only reason why I say that is because Jerry is stupid enough to go and spend a whole bunch of money on something that may not make his team. It'll make his team better, but I mean,
he wants the big names.
I'd 100% take AB over Tavon Austin, and then they just got Jason Witten back, which also is kind of odd to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I my top two would be San Francisco or Oakland. Maybe Indianapolis.
Okay.
I don't think the Jets are that smart, so I don't think they're going to do that. Maybe New England.
Yeah, I heard that being mentioned too. They do take people. No
I think a lot of that has to do with whether or not Josh Gordon is coming back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few places he can go.
Yeah,
man.
No, he'll be in high demand no matter what.
Seattle?
So, yeah, that would be a good fit, too.
I don't know if Seattle has the money, but and Seattle's kind of like on a, they're about to lose Earl Thomas.
Yeah, they're kind of falling apart right now.
Yeah, man. But shout out to AB. Dye your mustache back, though, because that is egregious.
Yeah.
that mustache is trash. I'm not going to lie.
The whole trend of dyeing your beard and mustache right now, like Donald Glover did it too.
Yeah, Donald
I feel like we need to roll this trend back a little bit.
Yeah, just a tad bit.
Yeah.
We out here looking crazy. But hey,
Oh,
whatever.
man, I was just reminded of something I have to get your take on because I know your shows are very women-oriented, women-focused, women-friendly. Another artist apparently does not like a certain type of woman at his clubs. Future allegedly a shutdown of a Miami club, and allegedly, because I haven't seen any real proof of this, but just social media tells it, he did not allow any plus-size girls in this club with him to accompany him. And I guess they were being turned away at the door for being plus-sized. So what do you think about this? And do you think it's fair for an artist to come in and say, hey, I only want this type of woman or man in my vicinity or in my club or at my show or whatever?
Yeah. I'm not the hugest Future fan, but I also don't know that Future was the one who brought down this rule.
It is Miami.
I think it's a Miami thing.
Yeah.
I think it's it's true. It's not a Miami thing. It's a LA thing.
Yeah.
Depending on which white boys are there. Houston thing.
Yeah, it is.
Especially on Washington. I just think it's just corny, man. Like, let these women come in here and have fun. You don't have to, like, treat women that aren't aesthetically pleasing to you like shit when they ain't even said nothing to you. They might not even be coming to see you, fam. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's not in here to come see. Like, when I'm at my shows, like, there's a lot of women in the room. I'm not. If there's 1,000 women in the room, I'm not just offhand, thinking that all 1,000 women are, there because they want me. They might just like my music.
Mm-hmm.
They might just be looking to have a good time with, someone that they know, or they might not even know who the hell I am.
Yeah.
I don't even think 500. I don't even think half the room wants me. I think, like, so for someone to say, you got to meet a certain weight requirement to come into the club, or and for an establishment to say that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how many people really support these groups of people. So, like, if you get the big girls out, then what about all the people that got big girlfriends?
Yeah.
What about all the people that support, big girls, and what about all the people that used to be big girls that are in there now? You know what I'm saying? Like you're not. There's no extra added, special treatment that you should give somebody just because they're not overweight.
Yeah.
It's a lot of unattractive thin women too. I mean, they come in ugly people come in all shapes and sizes.
Sure.
All shapes and sizes. And so do beautiful ones.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's kind of weird too, because in this era, it's like I would say it's still attractive to be a certain weight size or under, but it's also attractive to have fat people features.
Yeah.
Like big breasts, a huge ass. Like these are fat people features. But
yes,
for some reason, like, it's okay for that. But I'm sure he wouldn't turn away women with ass shots. But if they actually had a naturally big ass because they were big, they would.
Then it's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
You can go buy your butt at Target.
Yes.
Be out here looking like a pregnant ant.
Yes.
You can do that, but
the waist got to be
the waist ratio got to be right. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't even make sense. Like Future is, again, I don't believe that it was him. Just because I just know that, like, Miami clubs are hella superficial.
Yeah.
And they probably put that in there, and he might not even know, because a lot of times stuff gets at establishments gets attached to the person that was to the guest. You know what I'm saying? And it's not always fair. So I'm gonna reserve my judgment of Future on this particular subject until there's like a proof that like he really, because I don't know that, you know, this ain't the first time Future's been to the club, so I don't know that Future's ever said no fat people.
Yeah.
I don't know that to be a thing. And I haven't heard anyone say, yeah, I went to a club in Atlanta and Future said no fat people. Or, yeah, I went to a club in, you know, New York and he said no fat. Yeah. Like, I've never heard that.
I've heard Lil Wayne say no black women. That was a rumor that was being repeated around for a while.
Oh, my God.
But I don't think that was so much as a show or appearance. I think that was more so like in his tour bus or something like that. Oh, like he didn't want to be messing with black women, so...
I don't think I ever heard that one either. That's weird too.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Especially
but
for a guy who all his baby mamas are black.
And they mentioned that too. She was like, "How do you not like black women when your kid is black? Your daughter's black," and she's like, "She's black and rich." Though.
I don't know a lot of real men that don't like black women. Yeah. I don't know many. If you just outright just don't like black women,
you got personal issues.
That is a personal problem.
You're made fun of at school or something.
Yeah, and that don't mean you gotta. You know, that don't mean you can't love other ethnicities and all that kind of stuff. That's cool, whatever. But if you just all like black women, you're an idiot.
I honestly think that about anybody. I look at white women a certain way when they say I only like black men and don't like white men.
It's a weird one.
When black women say I don't like black men. When black men say I don't like black women. Like anybody who doesn't find their own race attractive is weird to me.
When you don't like black people, you're an oddball.
Yeah.
You're probably an idiot. If you don't like black women or black men or black women and men, like you're just an idiot.
Yeah.
I
think there's a difference between like and find sexually attractive.
And yeah, there's like a thing where like you might not necessarily find a black woman attractive. You also don't have to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Because we ain't running around telling everybody we don't find white women attractive.
Yeah.
You know.
Because a lot of black men, well, that's a whole other topic.
A whole lot of black men out there are like, I have to differ with you there, brother. I have to differ with you there, brother. We'll just agree to disagree on that. No, it's a lot of y'all out there that, I mean, and it's cool, whatever. You just don't have to down black women on the way to do it.
I agree.
And again, like going back to big girls, like you don't have to, you know, want to love and marry a big girl, but you ain't got to down them on the way to finding your one and only true love or whatever the hell you looking for. You know, you ain't got to do that. It's like you don't have to go out of your way to do that because it just makes you look corny.
Yeah. Like
the guy, we didn't even talk about that, the player in the league that went on the trip with all eight.
You talking about Kyrie?
No. NFL. The dude a few weeks ago, they went on that trip to like Mexico or wherever the hell they were, and they all had white or light skinned wives, and they were like, "Cheers to more light skinned babies."
Yeah,
that was the most cornball shit ever. You black as hell.
Yeah,
you was black. You darker than me.
Yeah,
and you out here. And then you put it on social media. You're more light skinned baby. Like you're an idiot.
I'll say this much. I didn't like the fact that he said in front of white people. I thought that was real corny.
Yeah.
To say it around your white wife even.
Yeah.
But
then they chimed in.
Yeah. But we also can't act like black people ourselves don't down
We do.
people for being dark skinned.
We do.
And make fun of dark skinned kids. Colorism is real in the community. It happens a lot. So I'm not going to act like these comments were just unheard of.
Right.
But I did think it was corny that you tell your white wife and her white friends that you're looking forward to more light skinned babies.
Yeah, like we're not going to have a powwow. Like it's like we had the like we lost my train of thought. Like
light skinned babies, colorism.
Yeah, like there is a colorism issue, right? And there's this idea that the darker you are, the less important you are.
Yeah.
Or the less beautiful you are, or the least desirable you are as you go along. And again, you can have your preference and not down everyone else in the process.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not like, you don't have to do that. And you look crazy. Because them be the ones that end up a couple of years later getting in some crazy madness with their girl or whatever.
Yeah.
The one that they done downed everyone else to praise. And now the police are at home.
Yeah.
At your crib. Or now you can't see your kids no more because she done ran off with the bag. You know what I mean? Like, because you down in every other group of people.
Yep.
Because the way they look, or because of their complexion, or because of their race, or whatever, you can be light skinned babies. We like, and then for the women to like for, it says a lot about the women in the room too, because you could have said, "Hey, bro, come on now, we're not gonna do that."
Yeah.
Like, I know we together and shit, but you don't have to do that. You can, let them live, let them be happy and live their lives and stuff like that. And if you want to be with me, you gonna have to respect them too. But, in a lot of instances, especially with, white women, a lot of the time, is that, they want certain rights until it includes having black women in it.
Yeah.
In those rights. Or brown women, or feminism, until
that was the beginning of suffrage. Honestly, they were like, you're not going to give black people the right to vote before you give women.
Yeah. So, no black man's going to vote for me. I mean, vote before me.
Yeah.
Like, no way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So like, they didn't even include black women in that situation.
No, not at all.
Like, they just did it. They were just, we want to vote too, because black men get to vote. And it's just not I really wish that there was a way that we could just like eradicate just the idea of just hating ourselves so much.
I agree.
And I got my preferences too. Like, there's certain things that I don't want. There's certain things that I don't want to see on my woman.
Yeah.
There's I don't have to run out there and tell everybody what I don't want.
Yeah.
I just go find what I want, right? Like, and hope that I have something that they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, that whole like cheers to more, like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, shut up. Like,
that was super corny.
Yeah, like you did this for what? So your teammates can love you, or so your woman don't have to be insecure about you being around something that she will never be, which is a black woman. Like, what is it? What is it? What is it about you? Like, what did you go through in your life?
Yeah. That
makes you dislike black women so much?
But it's weird. I mean, with ball players especially, and I don't want to, I think it's somewhat a stereotype, but it does seem to ring true in a lot of these cases. They seem to be with, and I see it a lot around where I work too, like they bring their girlfriend and they are completely opposite to what I think a black man in their statue would date, honestly. I'm not saying you only have to date black, but some of these girls look like they were cheerleaders or something, very preppy types. And I don't know where that comes from. I don't know if it's self-hatred or something.
Well, here's the thing.
Trophyism or what.
Here's one way I look at it. In college, we have, when you get to college, if you go to one of the worst things that happened to HBCUs was the integration of the athletic programs and the PWIs.
Yeah.
Because in the 60s, Grambling, Prairie View, Hampton Howard, you name it. All of these schools had these powerhouse programs. So you getting black people who were only around black people growing up to go to a black school, and then they go out and they either go to the league or they don't, whatever.
Yeah.
What happens in college, especially in Division I-A universities, is that you're at a PWI, so you're at an Oklahoma, you're at a UT,
that's a good point.
You're at an LSU.
Good point.
And some of you are from the hood, and you were never really around white people.
Yeah.
And then you go there, and the women that are flocking to the team are white girls.
Yeah.
And so it's
like an exotic animal.
Yeah. And what also was happening for a while was some of these women were getting taught to go after, make yourself up, learn how to do this, learn how to do that, so that
it's recruiting
a ball player can pick you up, and then we can go live in harmony, right? So these guys, they getting this attention from women that they've never seen, types of women that they've never seen before. I guess it would be the equivalent of like being black, growing up in the inner city of Houston, and then moving to like Australia or something like that. You just about a bunch of white people.
Yeah.
And some of them love you, some of them don't, right? And they get a lot of this attention, and what happens for some of them is that because they get that attention, they go to those parties and they go to those events and stuff like that when none of the black folks was going. Yeah. And so that, and you went to UT, so that ain't but like 5,000 black kids at UT. And so those kids are going to the black shit. They going to the AKA parties or to the alpha parties and the Qs or whatever, or they go into the club that they go to, and they not necessarily going to Pine or some house like that to those parties, but the football players are going there, and the basketball team is going there because they're going with the majority of where everybody is. And so you get all of that attention, and because you're in those spaces with white people, you then develop a subconscious that says, well, black girls don't like me because I don't see them here. I don't see them outside the locker room when we come out the games. I don't see them here. When I go to class, they don't ever speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this subconscious of just like, they don't want me no way. So, but this chick is showing me all type of attention and love and all that, or whatever they think is love, and and I get to hit it a few times, and like it just is what it is. And so it's a shift. So it's like they always think that like, well, black women don't approach me. Well, maybe you're just not in the space where black women are, there. You're not going where black people are.
That's a good point.
So and some of these dudes just
corny.
Some of them just corny. Some of them and black women think they're corny.
Yeah.
And they just don't give them no play, and then they find some, white chick that just loves their dirty draws, and they just like, okay, well, cool.
Cornball brothers.
Yeah. Also, I went to a school. I went to high school in the suburbs where there's nothing but white people for the most part.
Yeah.
And then and most of the black guys that I knew that I played with dated white girls because they grew up in that area, and that's all they were ever around was. I don't even think they even think twice about black women.
No.
And it's also, different. And I came up different. Like I came up, in Inwood and the Acres Home area, like going to school in Aldine, where I only had maybe 2 white friends.
Yeah.
And all my friends was black or Hispanic. You know what I'm saying? So everything was one of those types of situations. Like for me, so like when I came out there, I was like, my girls don't even like me. Because they don't approach me after the games. They not the ones, like for me it was different. It was like, I was like, the white girl's going to my guy over here that, that they've been knowing. I up until recently, I thought I scared white women. I still think I scare white women. Which for me is like, it's not my issue because I'm not, like, look, I'm not doing nothing to you. I'm minding my business. So, but I do think that those spaces that they're in around white people and around white women and all that kind of stuff kind of warps their mindset set a little bit, and they have this idea that well, black women do this, or black women do that, or black women have bad attitudes, or black women are because they're so used to people being around and being super passive around them. And subservient and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. Like, there's some white women out there with terrible attitudes too, exactly. And terrible personalities, and all that kind of stuff. That's not like a black woman thing. Black women probably have the attitude that you think they have because they tired of us. They're probably tired of us, honestly. So, and to say, like, I can't even really say too much, because it's like, still over 80% of black men are marrying black women.
Exactly.
And 90% of black women are marrying black men. So, and that's a real number. Like, these are real numbers. So, like, like a Kobe Bryant. Like, I don't necessarily fault Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was born in Italy.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant went to private school in Philadelphia. Yeah, he took Brandy to prom.
He did.
But that didn't mean they were going to be together forever. They were just the same age.
Kobe was like, 19 years old when he met his wife on the set of a video, G'd up.
Yeah, she was like 17, 18. He was like 17, 18. He met her on a he fell in love with.
Exactly.
That's what he liked. And maybe he does have a preference for white women. I don't know.
She's Latino.
She's The girl that he got caught with in Utah was it Utah?
Nah, it was Colorado.
Yeah. The girl he got caught with in Colorado was white.
Fair enough.
But other than that, we don't know all the women that Kobe was out here smashing. We don't know if he doesn't like black women. We don't know if he does like black women. There's a few that I'm just like, oh yeah, he definitely don't.
RG3.
Absolutely RG3. RG3 is I mean, he's from Copper's Cove. He don't know no better.
Yeah.
Copper's Cove, Baylor, he was always, when I used to see him at track meets, he was always just kind of a corny looking dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even know the dude had much athletic ability. I used to be like, yo, why is his hair like that all the time? Because he had that shag back in the day. He would never cut it. And he did, like, he's never, like, let's just be clear. RG3's never had a good barber.
No. Like, they be clowning his ass.
He's been going to Supercuts his whole life. But yeah, he just never struck me as a guy that necessarily had an affinity for black women.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say he hates black women or that he just dislikes black women. He just might just be attracted to white women, because I think white women are probably the only people that would give him any play.
Yeah.
And I get it, if anything, like if big girls are the only ones that give you play, it's good. It's funny. When I was in college, we had a kid on our team. We came in together. He was from Los Fresnos, white guy, quarterback. Was like a Tim Tebow kind of guy. He wasn't like super, super Christian, but he got a 4.0 GPA his entire time in college. He did everything the right way. He was always just a tight knit, straight laced, clean cut guy. He was a twin. His twin brother went to Kansas to play linebacker. And we were at a party. It was like maybe our first party, and like our first party that we went to together. And we're all out, and this white chick walks up, and we're in El Paso, by the way. So this white chick walks up, and blonde hair, petite, decent looking white girl, right? Mm-hmm. Decent looking girl. She's talking to him. So, how, he's a big guy. He's, muscular. Yeah. Like, he was built like Tim Tebow. He's like like Diesel, but he's a quarterback. And, moving to linebacker a couple of years later. But he's like, she's talking to him. She's like, just giving him googly eyes. And she's like, so, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking. And I'm standing right next to him. And he is like he's like tuning it out, but he's not like, he's just kind of like looking around, but he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm from such and such, yeah, what about you? Okay, that's cool, yeah. So what's your major? Oh, okay, cool, yes, Yeah, my major is such a, that's cool. Yeah. And so the girl's like just keeping conversation going. And he goes, I'm sorry. No offense. I think you're an attractive woman, but I'm really not into white girls.
Damn.
A white boy says this shit. So I looked at him and I said, what? So I'm like, what did he just say to this girl? And she's just like, oh, okay. Well,
that had to hurt.
Okay, well, this is cool. You know, we can yeah, it's just like, let's, you know, we'll just hang out one day. And, you know, she kind of like walked away.
Wow.
And I said, wait, what did you just say to her? And he said, man, Jack, I'm just not into white girls.
Damn.
And I said, really? Because I had never met a white guy like that. Like, I never met one. And I said, so why? What is it? He said, man, I'm from South Texas. Everybody in my school was either Mexican or black.
Yeah.
And I love Hispanic women and I love black women. And that's just what it is. And like, he was like, and from then on, like I started watching him, he was enamored with black women and enamored with Hispanic women. Like he dated like one of the finest girls on the drill team. And she was Hispanic, like the finest one. And I was like, man, like, I was like, oh, he really like, and it wasn't even like on no, because he never even said, because you know, a lot of times you'll talk to any type of man and you'll ask them why they like a certain type of woman and they be like, oh yeah, because you know they do this in the bed, and, you know, they got that ass and they got, you know, and it's real corny, like, yeah. But he never said nothing like that. He was just like, man, I just love. He said, I love black people, man. I love Hispanic. Like they always made me feel, you know, welcome or whatever, and he just never said, oh, I like black girls because they got, you know, they got that ass.
Stuff.
Never, none of that. Like, he never did none of that. And I never saw him try it. I ain't never see him say it to nobody else. Shout out to Jeremy Springer, man. Like, shout out to that guy. I just talked to him, man. He's coaching at Arizona now under Coach Sumlin, him and his brother. But yeah, that threw me. I said, you're white and you don't like white women? Yeah. Where they do that at? And he was like, bro, like this is not what I was into when I was in high school. Those aren't the ones that gave me attention. I didn't even go to school with white girls. And when I started going to school with white girls, I was like,
it was weird.
It was super weird. Like, I was just trying to get over white people. Like when on that first episode of The Shop, when LeBron was talking about going to private school and being around a bunch of white people, and he said, I'm not fucking with white people. Yeah. Like, that resonated with me highly, because here I am coming from a predominantly black area, predominantly black and brown area, going to a predominantly white school where I was, getting a car was a big deal. Yeah. Where I am now at this predominantly white high school, the issue wasn't the car, it was the type of car. So if you got your son a Ford F-150, but he only liked Dodges, that's a problem to him. If you got your daughter a Volkswagen and she wanted a Benz, that's a problem. Because what the real problem is that 2 years later they end up getting the Benz, or they end up getting the Dodge, and they end up like, these are the type of problems that they have, right? So it's a culture shock completely, because I'm like, dog, I got friends that walk to school.
Yeah. Rode a bike.
I got friends that parents ain't never at the games. And your dad is at football practice in fourth period. Yeah. He's in the middle of the day. It's supposed to be lunchtime, bro. You're at practice and you're trying to lobby for your kid to be in college, right? And, you know, going into parties, and I didn't even drink when I was in high school. I going into parties after games, and I'm thinking that like, oh, their parents must be out of town.
Yeah.
Get there, and their mom opens the door, and it's like, oh, we got Jello shots, we got beers, we got hand me your keys. You're not drinking. I mean, you're not driving if you're gonna drink. Or just letting them go. You know what I'm saying? Like in Acres home, that ain't happening.
Hell no.
First of all, your parents ain't going out of town, no way. Not without you. Second, this whole idea that like you just finna have a house to yourself and we just finna throw a party and you about to like you gonna buy the beer before you leave? Nah, not happening. Chaperones in them, like
the
seriously.
daddy gonna be there like what's his name in a house party.
Yeah. All I gotta do is follow the drip.
What's that dude's name who did Baby's Kids? I forget his name now.
Robin Harris.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you better not ever commit a crime. All I gotta do is follow the drip. Yeah, man, like that was a different set of stuff, and I just didn't party with white people like that.
Yeah,
I hung out with my teammates, and I knew some white folks, and I had some white friends here and there, but I was just trying to find the black folks. Like I would sit with the black folks at lunch. I would do all that kind of stuff. So it was, but I was watching everyone else, and I was like, oh, black girls don't even give them attention because they don't hang out with us. And I think that's an innate thing with black people. It's like, you don't even hang out with us.
Yeah.
You don't even do black stuff. You don't be at the BET Award. You don't even do none of that.
Exactly.
So we don't think you mess with us. So we don't mess with you. We don't see you, riding for us in no type of way. You just a star. So what are we supposed to think when we go to the club and you popping bottles and don't nobody in the section look like us or none of your friends look like us? Like, what am I supposed to do?
Exactly.
With that, like, okay, you don't like black girls then, or you don't like, girls of a certain weight, or something like that. And there's also a double-edged sword to that too, though, because then when a lot of these guys get women that aren't the standard of beauty that people want, then there's an issue there too. Why he dating that ugly girl?
That's true.
Why she ain't even that fine. He's supposed to be this and that.
People dogged Chance the Rapper's.
They dogged Chance.
Wife or fiance.
They got on Chance. They got on Amari Hardwick.
Yeah.
There's a few of them. But most recently, it was Amari Hardwick and Chance, and I think it was the mother of maybe Idris Elba's kid, if he has a kid, something like that. It was like somebody's ex-girl that wasn't the standard of beauty that they wanted, and it was just, oh, why you with her? This. And dudes doing it the same. It's like, oh, he's supposed to have a bad. Yeah, he's supposed to have a bad one. I'm like, dog, he loves her. Like, leave them. Like, leave them folks alone, man. He loves this woman for whatever reason. You know what I mean? And I even seen it with Amari. He was like, woman got mad at me because I wouldn't take a picture with her, and I was with my family. And I told her, I was like, no, thank you. I'm, have a nice day. God bless you. I appreciate it, but God bless you. I'm with my family. And he's like, I'm with my wife, man. Y'all don't understand. Like, she was with me when I ain't had nothing.
Exactly.
And, regardless of, the race of your wife, like if you or your husband, like if you truly love that person and like to me, little disappointed when I seen Serena with the white boy, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, because I'm like, dang, man. Like, come on, man. But also, some of the same, it was a lot of black men out here talking about how she looked like a man and how she was she was too swole.
See,
and she was doing
I would argue that, man.
It was some.
Those were mainly white people saying that type of stuff.
Well, that too, but it was also some men out there, some black men out there like, I mean, she a little too swole for me. She too, like, it wasn't that many.
Yeah.
But it was some. But then and I say that because those same guys was the ones mad that she married the white boy.
Yeah.
But, when we seen her with Jackie Long, it wasn't no problem. When we seen her with Common, it wasn't no problem. When we found out she was dating Drake, it wasn't no problem. Whoever else she was dating, and I was like, dang, man, we we almost had her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again, if that's who you love, that's who you love. Apparently, she's extremely happy. They got a kid. They got a family. They doing their thing. And it just happens that way sometimes. Rihanna running around here with a
billionaire dude.
Is he like Indian or something?
I don't know what ethnicity. I know he's not black. He looks white, but he might be like Italian or something.
She run around here with one of them.
Yeah.
Hey, look, she tried it with Drake. She tried it with Chris Brown. She tried it with Matt Kemp. Yeah. She tried it. You know what I mean? Like maybe that's the one she's supposed to be with. Yeah. And then you got people like Beyonce who meet Jay-Z, fall in love with Jay-Z, and they live happily ever after. Or you got LeBron, who been with the same girl since high school, same black woman since high school, and they are in love and they have, 3 wonderful children, and they just living their life and having their careers, man. I just hope that everyone can say that they have some type of love like that. You know what I'm saying? Like no matter what the love looks like. But again, nigga, you ain't gotta tell us about how dark-skinned girls don't appeal to you, or how black women don't appeal to you, or even how white women don't appeal to you. You ain't got to tell us you don't like white women.
Yeah.
You ain't got to tell us you don't like Hispanic women. Like a lot of these women, and especially the ones that ain't celebrities, right? Yeah. Or ain't athletes or whatever. Some of y'all got preferences for shit that you'll never have in your life anyway.
Yep.
It's almost the same as like when men, I was thinking about this the other day, I always say this, is like men look at gay men and they'll say they think that because they're gay that they want you. Women don't even want you. Yeah. So how are you going to tell me that the gay guy, because he's gay, is just looking at your butt? Like, that's not how this works, bro. That is not how this works. Everybody that likes men doesn't like you.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's okay. The gay guy is just fine over there. Minding his business. You can mind your own. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
So one more thing I wanted to get you your take on real quick, man. I know you're a fight fan.
I am.
There's a UFC card that will, by the time this podcast is out, it would already be done with. But we'll get your early predictions, man.
Yeah.
John Jones is fighting Anthony Smith, and Tyron Woodley is fighting Kamaru Usman.
Yeah.
Do you think they both win?
I'm hoping Tyron Woodley wins. I hope he pulls this one out. He's been doing really well lately.
Yeah.
John Jones is winning that though.
Yeah.
I think so. I think the Anderson guy is good though. I think he's
he's good. Anthony Smith, he's good. Like I don't think it'll be an easy fight for John.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, he's had a lot of fights I didn't think were going to be easy, and he made him look easy. So, I think this will be a good test to see where he's really at. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
So, I think somebody else was fighting tonight, right?
On UFC?
That's just the co-main events, right?
Yeah, the main event, John Jones, Anthony Smith. The co-main is Tyron Woodley and Usman.
Okay.
Then there's Robbie Lawler's fighting again, Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's pretty much it for the main card.
Okay. Yeah, like that should be a pretty good card. It's
gonna be a good card, man.
Yeah. I'm hearing Connor's fighting.
Yeah, well, I don't think they've made a set date for him yet. He's going to fight. He's been angling. He's been angling for GSP. GSP retired a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. He did, right?
Yeah, because I think GSP wanted to fight with Khabib. And for whatever reason, that didn't happen. So at that point, this might just be a tactic for negotiation.
Probably is.
Because I think GSP will have one more mega fight, probably with Khabib or with Conor. They will make that happen, I think, because there's too much money on the table to lose.
Okay, yeah. I think, that Khabib and Conor fight that rematch has to kind of take place. Yeah. I don't think Conor wins that one either.
No, he doesn't. So I think that's why, because I think Conor's suspension is only for 6, while Khabib's is for like 9. So I think there's time for Conor to get a fight in before Khabib.
Yeah.
And I think he might get somebody who he can beat.
Right.
Maybe Aldo again, I don't know. But
Aldo. What's the other one named? The one that got off of suspension? Diaz.
Yeah.
Diaz,
Oh,
yeah.
man, they need to make that happen, too.
Yeah. I think, call me crazy. I don't know if Conor is the face of the well, he probably it's John Jones. It's definitely John Jones.
Not yet.
Look, when it comes to like Conor's definitely a huge superstar.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a face right now because he ain't been around, and when he did come back around, he lost.
Yeah, I think with the face thing, it's nobody is as big a draw in the UFC as Conor right now. Somebody has to dethrone him in terms of popularity.
But do you think that's because
face.
There's more people in his weight class, or do you think it's just him? Because I think that there's something to be said about like they're not me and a whole lot of 205 pounders that are just super competitive and ready and willing to beat John Jones, right? Like I don't really think there's anybody in that division. Like I think at this point he didn't ran through the division.
Yeah.
And he needs to just go up and just take that heavyweight belt and just kind of fight for, legacy at this point. Yeah. Because I mean, it's solidified to me. I know that he's had his issues, but I think with Conor, it's kind of like boxing right now.
Yeah.
For the last 15 years, the face of boxing has been 147 pounder.
Yeah.
And that's just because there's so many people in that, that's average size for a male. Like 5'9" is the average height of a man. 150, 160 pounds is probably around the average weight of a male. And they gonna fight at 147. So there's so many of those guys. There's not that many heavyweights.
Yeah.
I can't name you 10 heavyweights.
Right now, no.
I can name you 5.
I can't. But the heavyweight's always been kind of weak in UFC, period. So it's been a weird division.
Yeah. And Conor fights at 60 or 55?
Conor, he used to fight. He came up at 145, but that was a stretch for him. He doesn't fight there anymore. I think he fights typically 155.
And one of the fights he lost was at 70, right? To
Nate Diaz.
Yeah, I think part of that has to do with just the fact that might be the most robust.
Yeah. Well, I think with Conor, to your argument, John Jones is arguably the greatest fighter in UFC history already because he cleared out the light heavyweight division when there were killers on the roster.
And he made it look easy.
Yeah, he ran through everybody.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor has lost. He's lost badly. The thing about Conor is nobody can sell a fight better than him right now.
He does sell fights well.
Yeah, he's the whole aura, the whole PR spectacle.
I'm wondering when people are going to catch wind of that and just be like, oh, here he goes.
Never. Because it never got old with Mike Tyson. He was doing that for a while, too.
Mike, I can't really say that. Mike was doing that later.
True.
Mike was doing that when getting ready to fight Lennox Lewis and who was the other one? Galata.
Yeah.
But like early Mike wasn't really talking a lot.
Yeah.
And the outlandish stuff he would say would be in an interview that really ain't got nothing to do with promoting the fight.
True.
Except a couple times when some guys, where they do the via satellite thing and they go on and somebody said something to him.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. What's the dude name that he beat up outside of Dapper Dan? The one with the shag.
I know I forgot his name.
The one with the shag. He beat him up, and the dude seen him at Dapper Dan, and he beat him up outside of Dapper Dan. Had that black eye, but he didn't really talk a boatload of trash to
Mitch Green.
Mitch Green, yes, yeah. He didn't talk a boatload of trash to Riddick Bowe. He didn't really talk a lot to Trevor Berbick. He didn't say much to Holyfield either.
Yeah.
In fact, when he lost to Holyfield, he was anytime. That's a bad stigma that Tyson really kind of had, was that he was just kind of like this unhinged creature.
Well, he admitted he was unhinged.
He was, but
his
when
book
he was
is really good, but he admitted that.
But when he lost, there was never a bitterness about it. It seemed like he you know, he was obviously really disappointed that he lost to Buster Douglas.
Yeah.
But when you hear him afterwards, he's really humble about it.
Yeah.
Like even after the fight, you know, he's just like, yeah, he's just a better fighter.
Yeah.
And it just is what it is. And
he wasn't crushed by that at all, really.
Right. Now, there was a thing that I saw a couple of months ago of Teddy Atlas. You know, Teddy Atlas hates Michael.
Yeah, he does.
And for good reason.
He tried to smash his daughter.
Yeah. He was on Joe Rogan, and he said, I would say that you say that, you know, Tyson's overall record was like 30-5, right? Something like that. He said, I would venture to say that Tyson's record was actually 0-5. And they were like, why would you say that? He's like, well, because he fought a lot of guys that were afraid of him.
Yeah.
But the ones that weren't afraid of him knocked him out. And he didn't know how to, you know, come back from adversity. Like he didn't know how to fight through things when they got hard. You know, because he, you know, first 10, 15 fights was a minute and a half long. He was sleeping them in immediately.
Yeah.
First, second round. You know what I mean? He never really went the distance that much. Then he goes the distance with, well, he didn't even go the distance with, he went 8 rounds with Buster Douglas, and Buster, you know, put him on his ass. And then Holyfield put him on his ass, and then he came back, and then he bit Holyfield, and then he came, you know, comes back and he loses to Lennox Lewis. And, you know, it just wasn't a, you know, but he said, and it was interesting to me, but it was also like, I also know you just hate Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
So,
well, to his point, yeah, he is biased in that, but I do think people have kind of overrated Mike Tyson's legacy a little bit. I think his reign happened in a weak period of the heavyweight division. Muhammad Ali was done. Larry Holmes got old. George Foreman retired. He came back in the 90s and they never fought.
They never did fight.
Yeah. So
I don't really know if Foreman really wanted that smoke though.
There were rumors that Tyson didn't want that smoke, honestly. But I don't know.
There's a YouTube video of it's like an hour long, and it's like an extensive oral history of the heavyweight boxing weight class in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it starts at like 88, 89, something like that. And it goes through and it's telling you like who was the top 5 at every year, who was the lineal champion, who had what belt. You know, Tommy Morrison was in that, Mike, Riddick Bowe, George Foreman, Holyfield. Hasim Rahman came in a little bit later. You had 97 is when Klitschko came in. Yeah. One of the Klitschko brothers lost his first fight. Shannon Briggs was 98, 99-ish. Who else was a heavyweight around that time? Larry Holmes. Yeah. You know, just Moorer, Michael Moorer.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Vernon Forrest. Was it Vernon Forrest? And there's the guy that Holyfield lost to. I think that was Michael Moorer. You know, and just kind of how, like, basically the chronological order of how these guys were winning and losing and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And it was very interesting because, you know, there was always that rumor about, well, there was always that big controversy about Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis and how they were supposed to fight when Riddick Bowe had the belt.
Yeah.
And, but it also showed me how underrated Riddick Bowe was.
That's true.
Because Riddick Bowe was the man for a good 3-4 years. And he's the only one who beat Holyfield twice. No one's beaten Holyfield twice except him.
Yeah.
But it was a really interesting one. I have to send that to you when we done. It's like you're like, damn, that really happened. And it's like, damn, I do kind of remember that. And you know, but there was that fight. What was the reason why Lewis and Riddick Bowe didn't fight? It was like it was some type of rematch clause that was in, and it was like it was something weird that and Riddick Bowe just gave up the WBC belt because he was just like, screw it, y'all don't want to do it my way, then I'm just not gonna do it. But yeah, man, boxing got some good fights coming up though.
It does.
We got
Canelo's fighting soon.
Canelo's fighting in like April or May. Canelo and Danny Jacobs.
Yeah, I just saw them do a little press conference or something, so I thought it was sooner. But I guess
this month is Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. Okay. That's at AT&T Stadium. That should be a good one. Next month is Terrence Crawford and Amir Khan.
Yep.
That's on 420. May is Canelo. I think that's Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Canelo and Danny Jacobs. I think there's one coming up in June. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury got postponed.
Yeah.
I don't know why though.
Fury's fighting somebody else, I believe.
You know what it was? Fury signed an ESPN deal.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He signed a deal with ESPN, and I think which I don't know if it was the best idea, because I think he just kind of grabbed the money that he thought he was going to get. But Clarissa Davis is fighting Christina Hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Clarissa? Clarissa Shields. I'm sorry, Clarissa Shields, not Clarissa Davis. Clarissa Davis is a basketball Hall of Famer. Clarissa Shields.
Okay.
The only 2-time Olympic gold medal winner in boxing across the board. Like, no one's ever won 2 Olympic gold medals.
Oh, wow.
She won the 2012 Olympics and 2016 Olympics. She's 23 years old, and she's undefeated, and she's got almost all the belts. She's about to go grab another one from Christina Hammer. So that's on Showtime in April as well.
Another big one in June. Anthony Joshua and Jarrell Miller.
Big Baby Miller. Big Baby pushed him so far across that.
He did. He punked him.
I'm hoping Big Baby gets it.
Me too. I'm a little tired of Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, he's kind of on some cornball shit.
He's been running too long from Deontay Wilder. That whole thing should have happened last year and it didn't. I'm kind of sick of him.
I almost just really want to see Wilder and Fury again.
Yeah.
Before I want to see any of them fight Joshua.
I feel the same. That was a good fight.
I think Tyson can. I think Fury can definitely beat Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
I think Wilder can, but he can't be telegraphing his punches like he did last time. Because I really don't even think he. Granted, yes, there's no fight where in life where you've knocked down somebody twice and lost.
Mm-hmm.
I think if he had knocked him down once, 100% would have been a decision to Tyson Fury. But there's a lot of good boxing, man. I'm glad it's making that resurgence. I don't know where the zone fits into all of this, but it's seeming, right now they got Canelo. Also, who doesn't have a deal right now is Triple G.
Yeah.
Which I know why he don't have a deal. Because if he signed to Showtime, they're going to make him fight the Charlo brothers.
Yeah.
One of the Charlo brothers.
He's running.
Absolutely running.
Yeah.
He don't even want the rematch with Canelo no more.
Yeah.
I don't even think he wants Danny Jacobs again. He beat Danny Jacobs. Absolutely. But
he would give him problems again.
Danny Jacobs knocked him down, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good fight.
Yeah, he don't. Triple G just want to collect his money and fight bums for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
He probably think he got about 3-4 more years left. So he going to fight 2 bums a year and try, like the one that they picked after the Canelo fight. They wanted him. Nobody knew who he was. And that motherfucker got out there and lost. He lost he lost. Yeah. And then they were like, well, we think we're going to fight that guy too. Like, what are you talking about?
Don't mean to interrupt your train of thought, but UCF is up on Houston with 35 seconds left.
Oh. U of H is what, 30-1 this year?
They are 27-1 right now. They are ranked number 8 nationally.
Number 8 They about
going
to lose
into the
to
tournament.
UCF probably.
Man, hold up.
They probably about to lose to UCF.
Game ain't over.
Hey, man.
He put him on the free throw line.
Yeah, he put him on the free throw line, bro. They about to start fouling for the rest of the game. Shout out to U of H, man. They got a decent squad, man. Got a decent squad. It kind of took me by surprise that they were doing so well because I don't really watch college basketball that much. But yeah, U of H is definitely down by 3. Okay. This nigga missing field goals. He missing free throws. UCF don't look like they got a bad 21-6. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Wait, ain't Central Florida? Don't Isaiah Thomas coach one of them? Isaiah Thomas coaches in college, right? He coached in college.
Yeah, I don't think he coaches.
It's not Central Florida?
No, I don't think so. I could be wrong.
It might be South Florida, actually.
Who does Isaiah Thomas coach?
Yeah, I
Isaiah Thomas coaches. Wait, I don't even know.
He's not even coaching nobody right now?
I don't think he is.
At one point, he was coaching. What school was that? It was a school in Florida, I want to say.
Wasn't he coaching a women's basketball team last? The New York Liberty? Oh, he was a team president.
Yeah, he was the president.
Then he was I don't see him coaching the college team right now. It might have been somebody else, not Isaiah Thomas.
He coached FIU, Florida International.
Oh, okay.
And that was 2012. He's done. He ain't coaching nobody no more.
Yeah.
But he was at Florida International. But yeah, Central Florida's up 4 points right now. 33 seconds left. U of H. I mean, I don't know if they dropped that far in the rankings.
UCF is unranked, so
that's not a good loss.
Yeah, I hate when.
But I mean, basketball's a little different though.
Yeah, they'll be in a tournament no matter what.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Positioning in the tournament would be important. If they lose this one, they're gonna
But they're in the same conference though, right?
Yeah.
You think they'll win the tournament?
I mean, they should.
I mean,
but I don't know. Look, playing like this, I didn't see the whole game, so I can't really call on how they've been playing. But it's a low scoring game, even for a college game. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but
yeah, man. Oh shit! Did he airball that?
Yeah, it's not good. The game is over now.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. So tough luck to March Madness is starting pretty soon.
Yes. You do brackets and all that, man?
I did one year. I did one twice. I don't watch college basketball enough, so I just be guessing a lot of time.
Most people do.
But I be looking at the teams that I think are going to win and kind of go from there. And, the years that I do them are the years that schools that
of course
won AA
random
basketball
upsets.
School. Yeah, Davidson and, what's the other school that won a couple years ago? Butler.
There's been a few crazy upsets.
Butler and, Gonzaga and, they be winning stuff. Okay. They got a little life. 20 seconds left.
Got to make that.
Missed that.
Okay, it's
game over. Ain't got no
Rebound.
clutch gene. No clutch genes. They out here missing layups.
Oh my god!
Look at God.
Oh my.
All right, man. U of H is done.
What do you think about Zion, man? You think he should sit out or not?
If he sat out, I wouldn't care.
Fair enough.
If he sat out, I'd be like, you know what? Do that. I think the only reason why he would come back is because he's built a relationship with the coach and with the players.
Yeah.
And there's a camaraderie there, and he wants to play that way.
They probably paid him too.
Probably paying him too. He's like, look, we do not. Look, I know the shoe don't work that well, but we do not.
Yeah.
We do not pay our players and they don't play. That whole thing, it was just a weird situation. The stars were just aligned really weird. Duke, you playing Duke, tickets are $3,000.
Yeah, Duke, North Carolina.
By the way, when
Obama
tickets are
was there.
$2,990 something, I never want to hear anybody else tell me that a college player shouldn't get paid.
Yeah, fair enough.
Ever. There's no reason why a college basketball ticket should be $3,000 if ain't nobody getting paid. So that's the first thing. Barack Obama was at the game.
Yes.
Who else was at the game?
I only saw Obama, but probably some more people were there.
There was
too.
some celebrities there.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if Jordan wasn't there. He's usually there for those big games.
Yeah. He probably had the Hornets were probably playing that night.
Yeah.
And it was at the All-Star weekend, so
That's
he's
true.
probably still recovering from that hangover. Because
he's seasoned, man.
Actually, that was like 2 days after his birthday.
Yeah.
It was like three days after his birthday.
Yeah, he on the bender. He was on that flu game form.
That boy went out there with them big old jeans, with them baggy jeans.
Man.
And was living his life out there in Charlotte. Yeah, man. But yeah, Zion, man, I just hope if he doesn't play, I wouldn't. He gonna be the first round draft pick either. Anyway,
yeah, exactly.
Honestly, he could have gotten hurt. Like he could have torn that ACL and still been the number one pick. I think it just ain't nobody in the league, ain't nobody in the NCAA better than him. And I know it ain't nobody overseas that's better than him.
No,
I don't care who they think is better. You know what I mean? Like he's definitely gonna be that number one pick. Who you think get the number one pick though?
Who are the worst teams right now?
The Knicks.
The Knicks, the Cavaliers.
Cavs are
Cavaliers
trash.
need one,
Cavs
because they're so bad.
Chips, boy.
The Suns have a future, so they have Devin Booker at least.
For how long though?
Yeah, it's true. Who are the worst team? Let me look up NBA records.
The Pels they're probably going to miss the playoffs, so they'll get a lottery ball.
Yeah, they're basically tanking right
now. The Lakers can probably get a lottery ball if they screw up.
The three worst teams in the East are the Bulls at 18-45, the Cavs at 15-47, and the Knicks at 13-49. Pelicans are at 28-36. Grizzlies are bad, and the Suns only have 12 wins this year and 51 losses. So they're completely awful.
Man. 12-51.
Yeah.
Bro, you know how sick of this I would be? 12-51?
Yeah, they're really bad.
I would hate everybody. I'd want to fight everybody. But, we'll see how the Suns, James Jones is the GM over there.
Yeah.
Hopefully he makes some good trades or whatever. But yeah, I think the Knicks are probably going to end up with the number one pick. And I think Zion's probably going to be the
Probably.
Another
draft is rigged.
Well, I know Zion's going to go number one anyway.
Yeah.
But I think the Knicks are going to get that pick.
And get Kevin Durant, too.
You think they're going to get Kevin Durant?
I think so. I think Kevin Durant's gone.
I think he might be gone, but I don't know if he gets. I don't know.
Where else would he go except the Knicks?
L.A.
With LeBron after he already said that it's toxic playing with him?
He said I could see how it could be hard playing with him.
Yeah.
And he said the toxic part, I think a lot of people think that the toxic part is the media circus that comes around. But Kevin Durant's a media circus.
That's true.
Because he's always saying some crazy shit to the media.
Yeah.
He just told the media, I don't trust y'all. You know what I mean? Draymond just signed with Rich Paul.
That's true.
So he
might go.
That could be a Laker move.
Yeah.
They all got to get re-signed. Clay, KD, and Dre. They're all up for re-signing this year.
Yeah.
All of them free agents. So KD could go to LA if he likes better weather. He'll go to. If he wants to be closer to home, maybe.
He plays in the Bay Area already. I don't think LA would be like a huge.
Yeah, but he got a house in LA though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, like most guys do, but
I just see, he's already a 2-time Finals MVP. He's already a 2-time NBA champion. What does he gain by playing with LeBron versus going to a terrible franchise like the Knicks and reviving them?
Well, the question is, and this is like, I don't know the answer to this. Does he want to play for Fizdale?
Yeah, that's true.
Also, if they don't have the year that they want to have because maybe they don't get another guy over there, then are they going to fire Fizdale?
Yeah.
If they fire Fizdale, then they're back trying to find a coach. And I don't know who that coach is. But if they're not going to be, if the Grizzlies couldn't be patient with Fizdale, I don't know that the New York Knicks would really be ready to be patient with him either.
They could fire Fizdale and just keep his wife.
Good Lord. Did you see Stephen A?
Yes.
Stephen A
is hilarious.
Tripping.
Stephen A is hilarious.
If Fizdale squares him up for the shit he said,
I didn't think it was disrespectful.
Yeah, but bro, we're not even talking about that right now.
Sidebar.
I see why he's happy all the time. Yo, Steve, I really think Stephen A needs a nap.
He does.
He needs some time.
They work him like crazy.
He needs a vacation.
Yeah.
They got him talking about talking about football. He out there talking about football players that have been injured all season.
Yes.
I think he's going to play well. He was out the whole, like he hasn't played all year. What are you talking about?
They put him out there at the UFC event. Like he knows what he's talking about. Boxing events.
He's carrying Max Kellerman through First Take, and not well either. I think Max Kellerman is like a genius boxing mind. Like I think he's a great boxing mind. He don't know shit else about no other sports.
That's true. I agree.
He don't know nothing about no sports.
Every year he said the same thing. Tom Brady fell off a cliff. He's done. Then he wins the Super Bowl. But he's still done next year. Just give it up. Man.
He's just Max Kellerman.
Yeah.
Yeah. His raps ain't all that tight either.
Yeah, it was awful.
His raps was not fire at all. Yeah, man. I think we're going to wrap it up, man. This is like a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah. Man, we covered a lot.
We did.
So, again, man, catch me at South by Southwest March 14th and March 16th. March 14th at the Parker Jazz Club, 8:30 p.m. March 16th, 9 o'clock at the Gorham Brothers Hat Shop. Do not be late to any one of these. Don't be late. Please come through. I need the crowd. I need my the supporters and the love, man. Thank you, Rocket, for all that you do with this podcast. I'm getting a lot of really good feedback from everybody. So, we
quick plug, real quick, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
The podcast things I do, the Gems and Juice podcast. Please subscribe.
Yes,
it's on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. Do that with my boy Figgy and my girl Jasmine. We skipped a couple episodes just because of personal things going on, like other appointments, but we're going to be back next week. Also, the ESG and Rocket Show surprise announcement is no more.
What?
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, we are reformatting the show.
Okay.
We're going to have a different podcast. It's still going to be me and ESG, but it's going to be less just sports focused because, honestly, we just had to break up with the people who were involved in the podcast before. They were on some other shit, so we finally had enough.
Oh, okay.
So we are going to be back with a different form of podcast. It's still going to be dope, man. ESG's still funny as hell, and we're going to be getting into it, but it's not going to be a strictly sports podcast. It's going to be more like a everything kind of Breakfast Club type thing. So stay tuned for that coming soon. It's going to be all on social media. So
it's going to be still called the ESG and Ron Record Show?
No.
Okay.
No. The new name is coming, but it's going to be reformatted.
Okay.
So
when does it start?
Maybe next week.
Okay.
We're trying to get the logo together, trying to get all the design elements together. So, we're reformatting the whole thing, man. We still going to have guests. We're still going to have to do the whole thing. We still going to get you on sometime again, probably.
Yeah.
But, just stay tuned for that, people. Coming soon.
For sure, man. Stay tuned for that new flip-flop, that rebrand. Check out the Gems and Juice podcast with my girl Jasmine and Figgy and my man Ryan Rocket.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna just throw the plug out there. Check out Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of it?
No, they okay. We got to stop there for a second because they no longer work with Sports Radio 610.
What?
Yeah, because there's something else coming.
Oh, they got a bigger deal coming.
Another station that maybe I've already said too much.
Another sports talk radio station?
Well, I'm going to edit this whole thing out because I don't know if I'm supposed to say this part. Right. But, they are no longer with Sports Radio 610, but their show will continue in some form or fashion. I will say that much.
All right. Bigger and better things, I hope. Yeah, man. Shout out to Brad Gilmore and motherfucking Booker T. Who else's podcast can I shout out? Shout out to the Now What podcast with Arian Foster.
Yes.
Shout out to my guys out in New York, the Joe Budden podcast.
Yes.
Big things out there. Big things popping. They didn't come to my show last week, and I invited them, and I had them on the list, but they, I told Joe I was going to do a diss song about him. see what
add
see
it
what
to
he
the
ready.
collection.
You better get your bars together. Yeah, man. We here, man. We out here. We at our undisclosed location.
Yes.
And we are overlooking the city. It's going in the evening time. It's about 5:00. Quiet storm is coming. It's real foggy. It's probably from the rodeo cookout. Yeah, that's what it is. And yeah, man. I appreciate you coming through, man. Rocket.
Yes, sir.
As always, we will see you next week. Hopefully, it wasn't a bad layoff for you guys. I know we didn't do a podcast last week. I was out of town. I'm sorry. But yeah, we out you. Goodbye.